Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to this week's GKP Live. I hope everybody's good and had a good week so far. Usual thing, guys. We'll be right back after this. And as if by magic.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Are you good, mate?
Got to turn my volume up.
Oh, there we go. Hit the volume.
Yeah, I'm just navigating my way around the iPad.
Are you on the iPad?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Let's make sure we've got. Can you hear you all right? Everybody hear everybody all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound a little quiet then to me. If needs be, let us know, guys, and I shall knock up his volume. We have the Daz's Koi Farm special guest as well. Oh, crap. We've got the grow-on fish that are all stood. And they haven't, since I put the camera facing the front of the tank, they kind of grouped up there looking at it.
Yeah, you've been training them, guys.
Cams on.
Training them to shoal.
Yeah, honestly, since I put the camera pointing at them, they've just stayed there by the window. By the window.
I think if you put a little hoop in there, you get them to swim through.
Yeah. Now there is, we will have a discussion and a quick chat about them beforehand because hopefully, can you see that? Does that show up? No, it doesn't. The one there that you can just see at the very front, and you see that little bit of a gap there, Daz, on its gill.
Yeah.
That one has got a slightly bent gill plate. It's not rolled, it's a bent gill plate. Instead of it coming flat, it protrudes slightly. So that one is going to become one of my trigger fish to keep in my little mini pond, just as a fish that I can have and use just to see if there's any problems with any others when we go in. And then somewhere behind that one, just up in the top left corner, is a little Ginrin Sankey, which one has got rolled gills. But the rolled gills are nowhere near as bad as what they are. But what I've decided I was going to do, and what I was going to do with these, at present now, the lemon harawaki, which is at the very back that you can't see, that one, and the little, I can point at these, can't I? Let's see if you can see where my finger, this one here. So that one.
That's the Deutsch fish, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Deutsch one. There's the lemon harawaki.
Yes.
And this kajaku and that kajaku. I only really want to keep this one and this one. So the two Deutsch, the two kajaku, I'm going to keep the other two, like I said, just for some trigger fish for the mini pond, just for if I ever buy a fish, I can put them in and see if there's any reaction with them, with new said fish. So that's the idea. That's what I'm going to do with them. I don't want to get, they're perfectly healthy. They're just not perfect. So rather than dispatching them for the sake of a roll gill, we have seen it before, me and Daz, when we've had a fish that we had. Huh? No, it's not. I mean, I would, Daz, but it seems daft to me. It seems silly to have a perfectly good fish to be used as a trigger fish when I can use a fish with an already issue to be a trigger fish, and then that way, if something does happen to it, I'm not losing a fish that that's a problem. It's already kind of got a problem. But what I was thinking we're doing with the other two, the two kajakus, and I do believe that these are very well red kajakus from
Rick.
New Forest Koi from Rick. So what I was thinking about doing is trying to get some more size on them and keep growing them. And when I get those fish with a bit of size on them, is doing a giveaway to a subscriber. Anybody that might, I mean, that particular, if I was to keep one, it'd be that one just there. But this one is a very nice one as well. So there's two very nice fish. And I might do a giveaway with them both. That's the idea, but I want to see if I can get a little bit more size on them and then, do a little gift for somebody. It won't be, I don't want anything for them. It'll just be a free gift to someone that obviously they can grow on and have a red kajaku from New Forest Koi.
Yeah.
Little bit of an idea. Now, for all those that's wondering, we may be blessed by Rick's presence this evening. This evening, he said, I might be able to get on beforehand, before I go to football, and I might be able to get on after football when I get back by about 9:30ish. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we might see him. We should also have a couple of other guests joining us at some point in the very near future. And one which I think might surprise a lot of people. There's quite a few good topics that we've got to talk about. So we can crack on. And I'll explain as to why we've changed it from Thursday night. And I'm kind of in the doghouse for doing this still too. It's my grandson's first birthday on Thursday night. So it's our Noah's first birthday. So I decided that, well, shift it to Friday. And then I thought, well, with Friday, I think a lot of people like to go out and have a drink and what have you. So maybe we won't get as many people. So I thought, we'll switch it to Wednesday. So I checked with everybody, cool with Wednesday. And then forgot it was my youngest son's 21st birthday. So our Lewis is in there. They're all having drinks. There's cake, buns, tea and everything. And they're having a little bit of a, bit of a natter. I brought my granddaughter up and they're all having a bit of a cuddle. But we are going out to celebrate both my birthday, which was yesterday, Lewis's birthday, which is today, and then our Brandon's birthday, which is on the 16th. So it's a busy month. So that's the idea. We're going to go out and celebrate all of us together on Saturday. So hence the reason for the change this evening. Wouldn't have normally happened, but as it happens. We'll get on to a topic then, Daz. Huh? What do you reckon?
Yep.
Let's have a quick catch up with everybody else. We've got hey guys. Oh, sorry, Steve. That says tank cam. Yeah, tank cam. Something different, isn't it? We've got Jigs that says, hey guys, with a thumbs up and a wink. Thanks for joining us, bud. George Murdoch says, evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us, George. Dave says it's very true. It is. At the end of the day, Daz might want one of these Kajaku. I never even thought to ask, but I've got
about 200 of them. Guys.
You got about 200. Oh, there you go then. So I just thought it might be a nice little gift for somebody to get a nice little fish that's been, it's grown onto an half decent size. At present, the lemon arawaki, which you can see there, now at 18 cm. So they're about 10 to 12 cm, I think, the Kajaku. But yeah, the only two that I really want are the others.
Is it my imagination, or does the yellow line seem to have got higher on the lemon arawaki? I thought it was like on the lateral line to start with.
I think, Daz, I think it might have done. It seems like the yellow line is lifted higher up towards the zip. And I'll have to go back on footage and have a look. Because I've got it all recorded and see. But yeah, you could be right, mate. Yeah, nice, Gaz. Are they breathing quite heavy? You see, that's what I thought too. So if you look here, on the left-hand side, you can see the row of bubbles that was coming up. On the right-hand side, I've just added another set of aeration bubble in again, and I put that in yesterday. But that has had 100% tank full clean and everything. The water is absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I've tested it all and checked it all, but it's had. I was thinking the same thing the other day. Now I'm thinking that if they don't improve, then I might be putting in a bigger area and then banging some serious amount of oxygen in there. But that said, there is the pleco, the clown loach, and the 4 rummy nose tetra and 3 X-ray tetras, 2 corridoris, and all those are breathing perfectly normal. I have noticed that when I feed them, they seem to breathe rather rapid. But I was thinking exactly the same thing, Chris, to be fair, mate. I was. And there's a conversation we all had last night, and Vicky said, well, why don't you add another air stone in? So I have, and doubled up the air that's going in. But, yeah, not too sure as to why, but they do, mate. I would agree. Good evening.
Evening, you all right, mate?
Oh, yeah, good, thank you. Is this prior to football?
Pre-football routine, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh. Here we go. Get out there.
I won't look like this after.
Score. Back. I've got to come running back in every time, run back home and go like, yes, if you get a goal.
I'll be all right. I don't know if I'll score any tonight, mate.
How's the polytunnel walkway coming on?
Good, mate. Yeah, we're ticking along nicely. So
how did I couldn't get signal, mate, to tune in. How did the auction go?
Yeah, it was good. Everything sold.
Sweet.
They were a bargain. But we just tried to do it 3 minutes per bowl to get everyone just
geared up for it.
Get their bids in. Everyone still tries to wait to the last minute, but with the lag on YouTube, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? You get there's a couple of seconds delay, and if you link Facebook to it as well, it's even worse, mate. You get like a 2.5 minute delay between YouTube and Facebook, so it's a nightmare. Absolutely.
Yeah, we just did it on. We just literally did it on YouTube and tried to say, look, there's a good 30-second delay, so we'll give you 3 minutes 30 seconds. Get your bids in. The bid that come in at that point won it, but quite a lot of the time there was more bids coming in afterwards. But
yeah,
it goes on forever. It was only to move some fish out, clear some space. So yeah, no, it's good. Bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it did for a little long. Was the fish that you sold on then the one? If you remember, when we came over, there were all ones that you'd got in for to have a look through and to get some new bloodline stock.
Yeah, you got them from different farms, haven't you?
Yeah, it was just Dainichi, Hakus, Sakai Sankis, yeah, all sorts of bits from some little ones from Koi Wholesale, and yeah, just went through them, kept a few, and just kind of a experiment, as it were, to see how they behave. How they behave in
your own stock, to see how.
Yeah, just to see how once they're in our water for a bit, our food, give us an idea of what they do. So yeah. No, it was the experiment worked. Some of the, we've still got some of them, and they've grown well. The ones we kept for growing have grown well.
Sweet. That's what you want, mate, isn't it? As long as you make it, as long as you're finding homes for them and move some on, that's what you want. So you've got the. Yeah, I don't know because I haven't seen the lives what you've done. If you did one today, have you got the walkways in? Then is that all?
Yeah, all the walkways done. Yeah, that's all finished. So it's just a question of getting the filters running now. Moved a load of fish in today. So yeah, all good.
I'll have to have a catch up, mate, and have a look. I've literally back. I've done a bit of birthday stuff and then on to do this, get it done. I didn't want to miss one.
It's flat out. That's the thing at the minute. We're just trying to get one thing done, next thing done, and we're still getting further. Even though we're doing stuff, we're falling further behind.
Well, you surely you'd be getting geared up now and starting to get ready for spawning, won't you?
You just shut that door.
I'll find out. I'm sure it'd be around about end of this month to next month, won't it? When all that should be kicking off and starting.
You want to start looking to.
Yeah, mate. It's we normally start.
This month to next month.
It's such a sequence where we've got to get the hatcheries ready, fry ponds ready, the brood stock ready, and it all kicks off in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You can hear your video playing in background, live from Wales.
Hello, mate.
How's it going?
Fucking brilliant. Now I'm on, yeah.
He's hyper, isn't he?
Now I'm on here. Well, thank you very much.
Sorry I'm late, guys. Sorry I'm late.
That's all good. It's all good. It's to be fair, mate, it's lucky that it's really happening, to be fair. It's my son's 21st, so he's in there having a few beers and what have you. But we're all going out for a family celebration on Saturday because we've got our Ted's on 5th of March, and then we've got mine on 12th, which is also Lewis's girlfriend's on the 12th. And then we've got Lewis's on the 13th. We've got Brandon's on the 16th. So it's and then we've got our Noah's as well. So it's tomorrow. So it's a busy hell of a busy month now. Is March. Trying to squeeze everybody in all at once. All been good fun.
One big party.
Yeah, just get sick of cake, don't you? By the end of it, though, so it's cake overload.
Is there such a thing?
Anyway, we should also be having. I think Crafty will be joining us at some point as well, and then another guest as well. Right. Well, we're going for a quick couple of questions, and we'll have a quick run through this first one. David Pitstocks asked, "Hi guys, at what temperature would you expect carp pox to start disappearing as the temperature slowly rises?" Cheers.
18 degrees normally.
Around 18 degrees. So
you always get
warm.
stubborn buggers that stay on. Yeah. Yeah. On as a normal 18, 20 degrees, it sort of just melts away, disappears. But yeah, quite often you get one fish that's just
stubborn.
Doesn't matter how hot you make it, it just stays on there. Yeah. Yeah, not so good.
People seem to have been struggling with carp pox this winter.
Well, that's another thing and all, isn't it? It is transferable. It is something. It's a virus, isn't it? So it will spread from one to another. You can, well, depending on their immune system, as whether or not it's strong enough to keep it at bay or not. All right.
Yeah, it was just a herpes virus. So
we were talking about that last week, wasn't we? About my Danichi male that had carp pox all the way through its 24-degree life.
Yeah. That's one of the stubborn ones.
You do get them.
Yeah, man.
Get them like it.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? As a new hobbyist, I love. Mate, I'm so glad. I know this sounds weird, but I'm so glad I've had a bacterial problem. I'm so glad I've had one of those kind of stubborn, yeah, every kind of thing. I'm glad I've had, because I think overcoming that and experiencing that makes you better at the hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
Yeah.
even though it's at the beginning of it, mate, it's a quick learning curve, isn't it?
Very quick. I honestly, mate, absolutely horrendous. Mate, bacterial problems do just, you just may as well just, yeah, start again. It's hard, really hard.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the
And you've got to do,
nastier bacterial
yeah.
problems are horrendous.
It's mad, and I think, yeah, like I think we've talked about it before on this. You know, is it introduced or do you make it yourself? You know, it's got to, Aeromomus has got to come from somewhere, but it's a difficult question, isn't it? Like, what was born first? No, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Chicken or the egg, yeah.
You know, like,
I think, yeah,
you know, if it's, you know, like, I suppose when you fill up a pot, if you've got a brand spanking new system, this is something. If you've got a now, let's just say I made myself my first 2,000 gallon pond. Lovely. Brand new Nexus 220. Lovely. Brand new K1 Media Plus. Lovely, right? A couple of pond pads put in there as well, just for the bubbling effect. Lovely. Nice UV 55 EA light. Gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? What else we need? Couple of pumps. 30,000. So we only run them on half, so we don't get so much electricity, and they prolong their lives. Gorgeous. All pressure pipe, all brand new. The whole system is all brand spankers. There's no Aeromomus in there at the time, so it has to come from somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
I've never
reckon?
known it come from anywhere bar the fish. In
Yeah,
all my
exactly.
years of dealing with it,
Yeah.
it's always come from. You can trace it back.
Introduction.
Most people know where it come from, which fish it came from, when the fish changed, when the first mark started, when the first holes appeared, and all the rest of it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it can be difficult to trace if you're moving a lot of fish about, and you can have fish that have got an immunity to a point, so they're quite happy until the pond turns shit, and there's enough going wrong with a parasite or water quality to trigger it again. But yeah, it's pretty much every time you know where it's come from. Every time I've seen it on our farm, you know, on our place over the years, we've known what brood stock it came with, where it started. All our customers, when they have problems with it, you know, you trace back. Where do you get fish from? When do you put them in?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got such and such from such and such as pond.
I've got to tell you the story. I've got to tell you the story about me getting it, right? So it's quite, if you go right back on my videos, you'll actually see it. So I had a hole in the, do you know what? It's so funny. I went back on my archives on my Instagram about 3 or 4 years ago, and I got to the point where I'd finished renovating my house, and I dug a hole in the ground, right? And I thought I was the dog's bollocks, right? Because I dug a hole in the ground, and I bought a liner, and I thought to myself, oh my God, what I'm going to do now is dig, like, on the bottom, dig like a sort of a coffin. Literally, it's like 6 foot by about 2.5 foot. And then instead of just putting the liner in there, I thought to myself, I'm going to be really cutting edge now and line it with 50 mil, like insulation board, right? And I thought, what a brilliant idea. No one's ever thought of that before. But obviously, I didn't know anything about fish keeping or anything then. But so I done that. I had a couple of fish from Maidenhead Aquatics in there, and one of the Maidenhead Aquatic stores sold me a tiny Awaz canister. Right, the canister, right, is the same size as the Awaz filter I've got on my 60-liter tank at the moment, right? But that was to run a 500 gallon, 500 gallon pond, right? So obviously things went downhill pretty quick. Okay. So from there, I started to watch Tim Waddington's videos, all the pond builds, and I was thinking to myself, shit the bed, there's this side, and then there's like really nice bespoke ponds. I'm going to do one. So I started doing it and just sort of like filming all of it on my Instagram, and I was getting like 2,000 or 3,000 views on Instagram, and everyone, I was swearing on it and making crew jokes and all that, and everyone's like, oh, you should have a YouTube channel. And I thought to myself, I think I started a YouTube channel years ago. So I had the account from years ago. So I just changed the name, and I started to do it that way, right? But when I started to build this pond, what I done is I bought an 8 foot like temporary swimming pool, and I put it inside my underbuild. And at the time, I bought a second-hand Nexus, right, which I started running on the original pond, which actually started working a lot better, right. And when I then, so that was pump fed, but then when I put the fish inside, I had it as gravity fed, okay, but I was running the Nexus the wrong way round, I think. So the water was going backwards in it, which would have been doing something, but it wasn't doing it right, because within about 6 weeks of building that other pond, I had the worst bacterial problem ever, and that's where it started. So I think obviously, yeah, don't run your Nexuses backwards. They will work, but not as good.
So
Good
that's
learning curve, though.
Did you not? So do you think yours come from that problem then, from a filtration side of things, and not from a fish that you introduced?
Well, I think so. Obviously, I think Eremimus is always in a pond environment once it's a certain amount matured, isn't it? It's going to be in the fish poo and all that kind of stuff. And obviously, all the fish poo that's not being cleaned away and stored, that's where it's going to start like multiplying and thriving, isn't it? So I had a few marks on the fish and all that kind of stuff. But then when I finished the pond and started to take the fish out to put them into the new pond, mate, I felt so bad. Like some of them had no bottom jaws because they've all been eaten away by like bacteria. Mate, quite disgusting, to be honest. I was quite ashamed of myself because this is, I think, what's really important about having a pond window. I think it's really good idea to have one to be able to monitor the fish, all of the fish, because obviously when I was looking above at the fish in the pond, yeah, you can't spot that. I would now probably, but yeah, at the time, yeah, no idea, like no idea whatsoever.
Yeah, the problem is that the bacteria that cause that kind of damage, the pathogenic bacteria, that's not in your pond all the time. That's something that has to be transferred from a fish that's carrying it to another fish.
Okay.
So that's where it stems from. So yes, you can have a poor pond and they can start suffering with issues, but that nasty like ulceration, mouth disintegration and whatever, that stuff is always part. It doesn't matter how good your pond is or bad it is, you put a fish in like it and you will see the results from that. And obviously the better your pond is, it might happen a bit slower, but you'll still see the ulcers develop. It's just one of those horrendous things. Like I say, and if you've got a really poor condition pond, but you haven't got that nasty bacteria in it, those fish will still tick along, and you might get, they're not going to be happy and they'll be under stress, so they'll suffer with the next thing that comes along, be it parasite, be it bacteria, whatever. But a nasty strain of Aeromonas, and that's the thing. There's lots of different strains of Aeromonas, Pseudomonas, and all those things. So when you get a nasty strain, let's say you could have the best pond in the world, and I've seen people with ponds that are mint, clean as a whistle, and it goes through those fish just one after another, and unless you can get the right antibiotics at the right time and get it into the fish at the right dose,
and so I did have obviously not very good koi at the time, but I can remember buying my first 3 really nice koi, one from Gary and Gatwick. It was Danichi Kawaku, lovely Kuchi Benny 3-step pattern, and for me it was £500, and that, like, for a new hobbyist, that was like a load of money on a fish. Like, do you know what I mean? I could have bought 2 Jack Russells for that, right? And then I bought a lovely Saka Issa Showa from Keith, a koi water barn, and at the same time a Sakai Kawaku. So I had, straight from the beginning, I wasn't daft. I know that obviously these fish must have various different farms, but farms must specialize in different varieties. And like, if you look at those, I hit the nail on the head there with the Showa and the Kawakus, right? So I sort of like started to think about bloodlines and farms from the beginning, and I knew there was something there. I've just got to dig and try to find as much information as I could. And when those caught the like Eremimus bacteria, because like I introduced those, I was gutted. I saved 2 of them with antibiotics, but the first one I had from Gary, that didn't survive. Yeah, it's a shame. But at the time, I had 2 mirror carp in my pond that I bought from a place online. Do you know what I mean? Not they weren't from a lake or anything. And yeah, again, it didn't even touch the sides on those because obviously their immune systems are nails, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is
You
one
know.
big difference with your wild types. They don't seem to be affected by bugger all, do they? I mean,
No.
they can sit there with flukes on them and just be.
And just, you know,
What of it?
do you know, I've always had thoughts about that. You know, obviously, in the wild, carp develop in a different way. They don't develop for their appearance. They develop because they're nails, and the weak die, right? But in the farms these days in Japan, all fish are selected purely on their beauty and aesthetics. So their immune system must be getting weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gene pool's smaller, isn't it? When you constantly keep selecting and selecting.
The prettier fish tend to be the weaker fish. So you in fact, selecting the weaker out of each generation.
Yeah, and it's one of those. At the end of the day, I don't think as bad as it was. I think a lot of the breeders have learned and understood that actually you can select fish not just from colour, but those that do well, grow well, got stronger. I'm sure 20 years ago when we used to buy koi, especially from the Gatter, they were really weak. You know, wouldn't tolerate a lot. They were really issues. So
We are doing more back crossing with the breeding as well, aren't we? Like,
well, I think you've only got to look at how many
Tank
farms
line.
have, Matsunoski introducing, carp into his line.
Yeah.
Momentero's farm was also using the Matsunoski line with that. So Koi no Yen putting the big white carp and whatever in. So they've toughened up. They obviously knew there was a problem and toughened them up a bit.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully he'll be back. I guess either his battery's just disconnected or his needs to go put 50 pence in meter. I'm running all that electric on that pond. It could be. No, give him 5 minutes to see what he's come back to. So, well, there you go. The answer to which that was one hell of a detour. The answer to the question is anything for David, anything from 18 degrees upwards, mate, and they should start to get rid, or it should start to disperse unless you're. See, I had I've talked about this before, and I did cull the fish. It was shockingly bad. It started off as a small little patch. Within 3 months, it had turned into sort of like that kind of size of it, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it spread across its whole body. And it worked. There wasn't even a single bit. The heron.
Where's his fucking camera?
That's his name, isn't it?
It's all gone wrong.
It's all gone wrong.
Wrong.
He's dressed in a fancy dress heron suit.
Spin camera around. You're facing. Actually,
No, I'm trying.
It
See
might
anything,
be,
Carl?
if you're going to set, it's going to there's 3 little dots. Click on the 3 little dots, then it says audio or camera. Click on the camera, then switch from front to back.
It's like talking to me, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Turn your phone on.
like trying to explain the Red Cross for switching it off. There we go. Right, let's drop. Let's see. There we go. We'll drop that one out for a second.
Get rid of that tank cam.
There we go. And then we've got the heron.
Somewhere.
Oh, is the heron on?
For all those that might be wondering who the heron is, all
No,
shall be revealed.
I'm
Yeah.
absolute absolute, by the way.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Amazing. Oh, there, Rick's boy. How's it going, mate?
So, Crafty?
Hello, Crafty.
Did you get your cards? Your cards look
Yes.
good.
God,
Yes.
you did. Yes, you
Have,
did.
have you shown all your mates?
Yes.
Are they gel?
Yes.
Well, Joe, I know.
What it's all about?
Yes, mate. Good stuff.
It is.
Well,
Yes.
Did you know I had a calendar that had the Power Rangers on it, and your dad didn't buy it for you?
Yeah, he did. He did. He
You don't like
did.
Power Rangers, do you?
Oh, damn it.
Didn't have
I had
Pokemon on, did
Calendar with Pokemon on it, and your
Yeah,
dad
he's
didn't
lying,
buy you
yeah.
that.
it? He's hands on fire, mate. Really,
Let's
definitely lying now.
Hang on.
Bang a couple of these on whilst Ryan tries to see if we can get that camera sorted out.
I'm having a right meltdown here, chaps. It's on my iPad, my phone, my laptop.
It'll be shitting itself now because it ain't working. Fucking hell.
I think that was a message I just got then.
Where we're looking for it, yeah?
I don't know, mate.
Ryan's always been a mong with technology.
He's phoning you now.
How do I get this camera to spin round?
Where's gone?
God, what's going on?
Everyone's disappearing.
It's like having two Alan Tates on you.
It is, isn't it? I was just thinking that as well.
I'm joking, Alan.
What you not? You should be on the bed, mate.
Give him a chance to. Jigsy said, "Happy birthday to all. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated." As Vicky said, there, if anybody does have any questions, type them out in caps or type out question in caps just to make it a little bit easier. As long as it stands out and I can catch it, that'll be greatly appreciated. ANC said, "Good evening." Rick's Koi Pond says, "Good little auction, Rick."
Yeah, well, he won some fish, didn't he? Some bargains going on there, mate.
Well, he treated himself because it was his birthday as well. So there you go. That was the reason as to why.
There we are.
Come on. ANC said, which came first, the chicken or the egg? And he says the egg, which is completely wrong because it was the separating of the single cell that came first.
Is that right?
Hey,
there you go.
Here he is.
Well, it was the single cell amoeba that broke and split, wasn't it? Which all forms of life came from. So.
I had a technical meltdown, and it was iPad, phone, laptop, everything open at once. So yeah, great.
Thank you very much for joining us, mate. How did you enjoy the madness that is Japan with Mr. Hadfield then? First
Just
question of the evening.
Lee'll appreciate this, Lee. Just for
Oh,
you.
you haven't got a lemon sour?
Oh, there we go.
That's all like drink in Japan.
It's the one, isn't it? When you're talking about koi, there's nothing better than a lemon sour because we're a bit of koi talk, isn't there? Let's face it.
Oh, it's
So,
bloody lovely. I had a couple with Kev the other night, actually.
unbelievable. Don't even start on me. No, guys, to be fair, Japan with Lee, how was that? How is Japan with Lee in general anyway? Yeah, eventful.
Did you get any mosquito bites?
As well.
Yeah.
Have you had to bear witness to the famous mosquito?
It's not pretty.
It's grim. We've got to remember there's little kids here present as well. So.
Yeah. Where's that? You know what mosquito is? It's fine. You just swat them.
Yeah. With a cricket bat.
If ever you see a man coming at you with a mosquito, you swat him. Yeah. Good lad.
No, Japan were good, guys. So like anything, it's always really eventful. Obviously, always join with good company as well. Obviously, the Welsh Maestro is always good to be around.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I bet it's a screamer minute, man. All right.
Lee Hadfield, the karaoke king.
Oh, mate. Tell you what, this guy can bust a tune out in Japan. It's unbelievable.
So you're good on karaoke as well, then, Lee? Huh?
I'm not good. I just do it.
You just do it. Right? That's it. It's about having fun in it and having a good laugh.
Yeah. Mate, if you're a good singer, you should never do karaoke because that means you just up yourself. You do it if you're crap to make everyone laugh.
Yeah, that's it. It's about breaking ice, isn't it? And having a bit of a giggle.
Exactly.
Good stuff. The songs are in English, and they half the time.
Well, my experience with karaoke in Japan is if you can just read the words and sing them as good as you can, you actually look like Elvis Presley, or like you're pretty good in their mind, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Lee, let me just say one thing. Rick Ashley, never gonna give you up.
You made me sing that, didn't you? Like I went to the karaoke bar with Crafty. Because like Ryan was having a meltdown doing work. So I said, come on, Crafty, let's go for fish and chips in the Irish bar. And then we ended up going for a game of darts, didn't we? And then I took him to the karaoke bar just to experience like Japan just in the evening quick when we bumped into each other. And,
hold on a minute. Hey, Shag, Kraft, what's that merch you've got there, pal?
What merch, mate? This?
What are you drinking out of? No, what are you drinking out of?
Oh, this.
Unbelievable.
Oh, look at that.
I ain't got them.
I'm going to get the fucking sack.
I had to use a glass.
It's all right, guys. I'll dish them out sooner rather than later. It's all right. We'll get you back on it.
I won't have to blackmail one out of you like I did your brother then, no?
No, I dish them out like the water, mate.
Let's get back to the karaoke bar, Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the last time I ever wanted to bump into him over there ever again. He was sitting there with his vape, promising me that he was going to join me on the karaoke machine. And I said, he was just typing all these songs in and then giving me the mic, getting his mic. And then as soon as I started, he just put his mic down and started vaping. After that, oh my God. But like just these random songs that I didn't even know.
It was brilliant.
Just for anyone's information.
The mole liked it though. The mole was impressed.
She loved it, mate, the mole.
I'll be up in a minute. Let's go on.
You can't beat it. It's a good laugh. It's a good bit of crack, isn't it?
Right.
Good night, bud. Take care.
Be up in a minute, mate.
Got a quick question from Terence. What is the lowest you can keep your KH?
I'm going to let Lee do this one.
0, mate. Saki Akari does the rest for you. Well, to me, I shouldn't make no Ryans on you now. I shouldn't say anything, but my KH is horrendous out the tap. Like my pH is 7.0, and my KH is like, well, last year it was 1.8, but now I've worked it out at pretty much 0.5. So yeah, when my pond water goes down to like 6.8, there's nothing in there. Because when Ryan came down, we tried to put, what's that treatment that we put in the green stuff? I never use it. Alprex. He goes, yeah, he goes, you've got to get it up to about above 5 kH.
Yeah.
Mate, how much bicarb we to put in? I was about like 8.8, do you know what I mean? Just to get my pH up. But I was like, oh my God. I thought, like, God, this is the opposite to Japanese water now. But
mine's less. Well, mine doesn't even register if I test mine. Mine's exactly the same. It's absolutely shocking. But it used to be 18 months ago, it'd be about 7.
Yeah, I'm sure mine's changed.
No, none at all.
Yeah. But mine's
About
got
18 months ago, I noticed a change.
What's your KH like up in Redford, Ryan?
Actually, pretty good. It's pretty stable. We probably out at tap come out 5 or 6.
That's not bad, is it really?
No,
Not bad at all.
obviously,
That's why you can afford to get a new bathroom, because you don't have to buy bicarb.
I do, mate. Trust me. Maybe stock ponds, I have to buffer all the time because they're so heavily stocked. I need to buffer them all the time. But yeah, unfortunately, we're quite blessed with our water, to be fair.
Blessed with it. We don't use much here. That's the problem.
For me, I would say my optimum keeping it at the lowest is 3 to 4 kH, and that's as low as I go. I don't keep it no lower than that.
Yeah, that's as low as I let mine drop now because I don't ever want to risk what happened last year with mine when it dropped and then I had a pH crash, and that was
Alan fucking Tate has just commented, mate. Bring it up.
Let's go. Where is he?
That fella is starting to annoy me this year, to be honest.
Mate, first Koi show I see him at, I'm drowning him straight on the spot.
nice to see a new younger panel member, even if he is a little.
Alan needs these like fucking things like these, mate.
Right, can I just share a story with you guys? And I've told probably some of you already know this, but Alan Tate's going to piss himself now at this. So when I was a wee nipper, and I used to work with my dad at the Koi show, so back in, I think it was 2005, he might have had privilege. I would probably comment and correct me on this. So I had a bit of a mouth. Well, I still have, but he had a bit of a mouth on me when I was 12. And to be fair, all the judges absolutely got laced up by me something chronic. Like, every time I could give it to them, they got served it. On the Sunday, they'd already stitched it with my parents that they were going to decide to throw me in one of the fucking water vats in the centre ring. And when they come for me, I've never seen so many people come out of cracks and crevices at a Koi show in your life. I had about 30 of them chasing me, and I just, you know what, surrendered to that shit. And they did. Leg in a wing, over I went, boom. In you go, 12-year-old, disgusting behaviour.
That's fucking brilliant, mate.
Instant
grievance in.
Was everyone you could imagine Takano going chupa. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they was all laughing their heads off. Yeah. But yeah. First show at Koi show, and I'm going to drown the fucker anyway, so we can have some of that.
Maybe we should get Alan in one of them this year.
I owe it to him. Honestly, it's mentally scarred me for years, and we always laugh about it every year, to be fair, me and old Al. But yeah, his part-time vengeance got served. I mean, you can have it.
The tables can turn because there's 3 people on the bottom row of this screen.
Yeah, but you freak out run, so he only has to walk fast.
Oh
no, Lee will be all right.
I'm in my prime here, so
Ryan will be all right.
Hang on now. Before I commit to being in this little group to drown Alan, are you going to be benching this year, or are you going to be judging?
Oh yeah, that's the
year?
point.
He'll lie
You might
to you
not want to be
anyway.
involved in that one, Lee.
No, maybe I'll just walk away.
he'd love to bench a vat full of tanchos. I know he would. It'd be his absolute ultimate benching him.
Oh, he loves benching tanchos.
Poor old Alan. You're all mean to him, I reckon.
I don't know. I think when you come in with this kind of entrance, you kind of deserve it, don't you?
He was talking about Ezra, wasn't he?
Yeah, a little shy.
Oh, yeah, but then he just called Ezra a little shite.
Yeah.
Actually, guys, talking about judges. Well, he's not a judge yet, but he's in the training to be a judge. Old Aaron, he helps a lot setting up all the vats in the national and all that kind of stuff. He lives about 45 minutes away from me, and he's been here tonight because he actually gave me about 2 tons worth of logs for my burner. So I just want to thank Aaron for doing a trip to drop me off some logs. But then again, I did pay him back with a 55-watt UV. So yeah. Anyway, but thanks for the logs. Mate, I've got to make my whole of my house. It's like a whole ash tree, I think, in the front of my house now. It looked like a right
It's such a shame that Alan's in a Teams meeting. I'm glad he's not torturing us because he's an absolute arsehole on the side of this.
I think there is a meeting on now, isn't there?
Dear me. Now then, quick question for you, Ryan.
Hello.
Obviously, now you've decided that you well, not now, like, but obviously you're making a business out of this. What is it that was it the influence from your dad and everything that you did as a young man coming up through the koi scene with it all that made you want to go into this line of business, purchasing and being a supplier of koi, or is it something you've always had a mad hobby on and interest in yourself? The influence wise. Parent-wise, most people see everybody asks normally from this koi keepers. It's something that they were spurred on from by the parents or a grandparent. They kept koi, etc., etc.
Yeah. To be fair, guys, I mean, I've always grown up around them. Obviously, my granddad, so my mum's dad, and my dad obviously set up the original business that we had as a family business. So obviously, from an early age, I've always grown up around fish. It's been literally from the minute get-go. It's always been involved around fish. Working in shops at weekends, that was the only way of making pocket money, really. That we never handed anything out. It was if you want money, you go and earn it, and that was how it was. But we shared the same, same thing that was really in DNA, and the love for doing it as well was there as well. So, like anything, every weekend was spent at shop, basically. I didn't go out with my mates, didn't do anything. I was literally lived and breathed fish. Obviously, the shop was an aquatic shop, so we did tropical marine, we did obviously koi. I think back in 2005 was my first trip to Japan. So when I was about 12, 13 years old. I think some of you, if you've watched Lee's videos, have had the light of seeing me when I was a chubby knee side, Lee. I was a bit.
Oh, mate, you were lovely, mate.
On the chubby side.
I've got to dive out at this point, otherwise I'm going to be late for my football. I might catch you later.
Hopefully we get to see when you get back there, mate. All good.
I'm alive.
Have a good game. You're alive.
Yeah.
If I can get out.
Red X, corner. You scream.
I'll find it in a minute.
That's took months for him to find that. Really has.
So I mean, first trip 2005. Again, never got bought any koi by my dad. It was a case if you want to invest your own money, you buy out your own money, you can sell them at shop, and you reinvest and go again. That was. So on that first trip, I mean, I actually showed Lee a fish house that I actually purchased my first 2 Nisai out of on that 2005 trip. It was an autumn harvest trip. And basically made a bit of money, went back the following year. All from there, really. And I think obviously then it's been involved in family business for a while. Obviously, Walesby Aquatics was the original business. I don't know if any of you all know it from previous. But yeah, went from there. Obviously, then Coy Wholesale was formed. The garden centre actually closed where the family business was. Worked on Coy Wholesale with my dad and Rick and my mum for probably 5 or 6 years, I think it was. Obviously left me at a still very young age of 22 and decided I want to do my own thing. And from there, I had my dreams and aspirations, what I want to do in Coy Hobby. And yeah, so I went out there, did a bit self-employed for a year, just doing some photography work, advising, doing what I could do. And then, yeah, obviously I met Kev, which I had a good, close relationship with Kev for the whole 6 years I was at Coy Wholesale. So then from that, obviously, yeah, we got together and the rest is history. 7 years on and, yeah, doing pretty well.
It's been 7 years. Right.
7 years. Unfortunately, mate, I've got a lot of grey hairs for a 30-year-old. Trust me, and that's thanks to Kev.
I know, I'm 21.
I'm saying no, mate, when it comes to grey hairs, man.
Fucking
I don't really want to have any colour now.
But no, I think even still, guys, I think even from now, for me, there's something every year that I look at and I analyse for the business that I can look at and think that's something that I want to do better. That's something that I want to involve more, bring it back to the UK and open that, that opportunity up somewhere across that board. I mean, one thing, at the minute, if anyone does follow what we do, I mean, obviously, Japanese koi shows are a massive thing for me at the moment. It's something I've wanted to do personally for a while. I think, and obviously for the company, it's been quite good, and people are getting exposed to that now and knowing that they can compete, through the right supplier and obviously the right advice, what you get. I think, and obviously, again, it's been proven in the last we started last year at the All Japan. So we know we're sort of like 14 months on from that, but what we've done in that short space of time has been pretty unbelievable, to be honest, out there. We've managed to bag some really serious awards. We do a lot of first, second, third prizes. But again, obviously, like this, we've got the Wakagoi coming up at the end of the month, which is going to be our biggest entry to date, which is going to be pretty, yeah. Thanks for that, Kev. Excellent. That's what I signed up for. But now, to be fair, I wouldn't have it any other way at minute, guys. I think when people that know me, especially Lee, sees me out in Japan in my spaces, then if you want to call it, and that's what makes me, that's my happy place.
I've heard some pretty good stories, mate, and I know that the lads have shared some good little bits and bats that you've done, and like what you've experienced while you've been over there, and what Lee's experienced with you. Yeah. And it's right, that kind of leads us into another question that we've got then, and is the show scene important? Well, you mentioned it and touching on it there, yeah. And the show scene, I would say, in the UK and over there in Japan, how is that important to someone like you in the business that you're doing?
For me, I find it more important in two aspects here. So this is Japan versus UK. I think, obviously, for my side, for Japan, for the company, is great exposure. Obviously, straight away, the relationships it brings with, obviously, breeders out there, for one. Your name does start to get about when you start winning them awards as well. It's known that people, now know who we are, they know what we're about. On the flip side, it's great exposure for everyone in Japan. It's an accolade for the breeder, the hobbyist, the dealer, you name it. Everyone's involved in that as a community together, and it is a community. The breeders work together so closely out there to put them shows on. It's to see it out there, regardless if they've got beef with each other, like they have, some of them. But when it comes to a koi show, all that's put to bed, and they pull together as a community to make that koi show happen, because it's so crucial in that calendar for them. Them three major shows that happen is just
the driving.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
For me, in the UK koi show scene, obviously to get fish in them centre rings through hobbyists and have a good relationship with those people, to get me awards, that obviously show what we do, is great. It's not about that for me. To me, for a UK koi show, is going there, supporting those guys that put them shows on and work so hard towards that.
And they do work hard as well. It's a lot of graft, isn't it?
A lot of them guys go unpaid. Talking on that about Aaron. I know Aaron for 2 years now. I've known him do them shows. And that guy works tirelessly for me, for other dealers, to make sure we've constantly got a good flow of water. And he knows exactly how much water I need to spread that I put on there. And that to me is crucial for someone like that who puts that time and effort in. And I'll always hold my hat off them guys for the amount of work that they physically put in. But it's, again, as a company, we go there, showcase what we're about, back up the show committee by putting a good spread on, making everyone proud of what we do, but also welcoming them customers in, having a good socialised chat, letting them see what we're about, you know, and enjoy the hobby as a you know, a general consensus, if you like. I think that's what it's all about, is enjoying that physical weekend for everyone from start to finish.
Yeah, I got to admit, as a hobbyist myself, going down there and seeing the shows and seeing the fish, and I mean, I will say it, but there is some absolutely beautiful fish, and you can't walk around any of them vets and really say you won't be proud to have one of them fish or that fish in your own pond, because the vast majority of them that are all there, they're mint out there, absolutely stunning. And you get to see fish at those sizes, the stature of them, the quality of them. I know sometimes they can look a little stressed on day 2 when, you know, they've been in there or been in overnight and what have you, temperature, water changes and the rest of it. They can look a little bit stressed at time, and you do get the odd comment when you're recording it, like, why is that fish flashing so much? It's part of the parcel of it all. But I've not once been to any of those events and not thoroughly enjoyed it, and seen fish that I've just sat there back and gone, wow, at them all. Because we've loved them, haven't we, Daz, when we've been down to them. We've absolutely loved everyone we've been to. It's been brilliant. So
it's not just the fish though, Gaz, is it?
No, it's not. It's the atmosphere. It's the people that come round. It's the talking, the nattering, all the dealers that you can walk around and have a chat with. Everybody's approachable. And I've said this, and I've said it time and time again. More than anything, what blew my mind is the people that, if you take the time and go and try to find out which the owner is or who their owner is or them fish, they will sit there and give you, well, information overload and tell you how they do it, what they've gone through, what processes. I mean, one guy scared me to death with the amount of food he said he fed his fish in a 12-month period when it comes up fruit get showing and what have you. Exactly. I mean, now hearing what Lee's putting into his, the amount that's invested in it, it's not some small.
It was thousands, wasn't it, Gaz?
It was. It blew my mind. I was like, no, how can you eat that? That's more than what your average. You know, you got 10 fish, 15 fish in your pond that are all pushing 80, 90 cm, all eating as much as your average Labrador does per week, if not more. There's a hell of a lot of investment in it, and you can see that the dedication behind it. It's not just pure, I'm a koi keeper. It's passion in it. It's got to be.
What are you feeding your koi at the minute, Lee?
Pardon?
What are you feeding your koi at the minute? Weight-wise?
I'm not 100% sure, but how much do those JBLs hold?
10 kilos.
10 kilo. So at least one of those pretty much every week.
40 kilo.
At the moment.
40 kilo a month. That's 2 bags of sake.
Yeah. Don't tell me.
Not enough then's the answer.
Yeah, fucking tight as arseholes, mate.
Not enough.
Absolute novice.
Yeah, but the thing is, they do get subsidized with
novice
breastfeeding from their dad.
Oh no!
But I'd say probably not breastfeeding, probably penis
lactating Lee.
Don't tell me feeding them up.
Lactating Lee.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be covering that merch up, son. I want to see more of that.
There we go.
And my t-shirt. Get my t-shirt. Look at that. And he's got the t-shirt on of Woe.
That's a stain.
Go on, son. Oh, he's changed now.
Walk right there for the guest.
Rick's Koi Pop says, I'm going to the National this year. It's my first ever koi show, mate. You are going to love it. You are going to love it. It's unreal, mate. The quality, you know, when you go into your local koi dealers and you see they might have some, you know, what they would class their biggest fish, and that chag blew me away when we were at Newark. The size of that thing, it was an absolute beast, man. 100 plus cm, and it were to see a fish of that size. I've never seen one a full 100 cm. And when you look at them, you think that's got to be close to 100 cm, and then you walk round to one that's got one in there that's 100 cm. You think, God damn, that's one hell of a fish. But it's whole body shape. The diameter of it was huge, wasn't it? But you're going to love it, mate. You really will. And it's
up your pan, Gaz.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Go into Odecan's back like fish house. Right. The
I
fucking
know.
Oh,
It
mate,
was
yeah,
a
those
phase
two long
before.
ponds in Odacan's place are class, aren't they?
that blows your mind, mate.
It's just
Blows
two
your
ponds for the
mind.
very average koi.
And then
But
you
we
got
love
Chinese
hunting for average koi up
one
north. It's
corner.
fun.
That's all apparently you can do up there.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you do find over average koi, and
I've
you
not got
know,
a clue what I'm looking at, so it's fine. But somehow we seem to wing it very quite well.
yeah. Yeah, I am. Talking about the north though, and average koi. I am looking forward to going down south though as well. Also, I'm really looking forward to my first trip down south. But I don't think it'll ever be. I've never been there, so I can't comment. But I can't imagine anything being more magical than up north.
The pace, the amount of farms, the minute you can get a phone call, flip from one side of mountain to other, that you can't buy that feeling. It's just adrenaline on a
It's like being on Wall Street, isn't it? Just like, you know, the yen's up, the pound's down. Let's go, boys.
But then going down south again is just a completely different world. The scale on the farms down there, the quality they carry is just probably tenfold. I mean, Dainichi and Nagata is just an absolute to see. Is just like, wow, the scale and everything they do it on. Even the cars are numbered from 1 to 20 because they've just got that many of them. The little K cars. They've got little Dainichi white K cars.
Yeah.
There's that many of them because they're just driving from fish house to fish house. And even you drive past the original Dainichi fish house that got shattered in earthquake, but they still use it now. And even that, you see that and you think, wow, that's where it all started for them. Was that one fish house? You look at the scale of the place now and you think, shit, like it's on another level. But I think, yeah, and until you've been to Narita Koi Farm, that's just an experience in itself because the place is on a standard and a scale you'll just never even imagine in your brain. It's, you can eat your dinner off at floor. The way that things are done in the operations, you see that many show-winning koi all under one roof. Just everything from start to finish is just mind-blowing, honestly. Like, I can't, until you've been and seen it to believe it, and obviously Lee will do it on the next trip. Yeah, incredible, honestly. But yeah, just a bit of an heads up. We've got quite a good trip planned in April. So we're going to start off with the International Junior Koi Show, which will be quite a nice. Obviously, something I've been trying to do for a while is attend a koi show because, believe it or not, they're really shit times to buy fish. Believe it or not, because obviously it's a bit of a dead week in terms of their setting the show and breaking it down and doing what they're doing. So for us to attend as a dealer, it's a bit of not a waste of time, obviously, but it's quite difficult to get the business done what you need to get done there as well. But yeah, we start off with International Junior Koi Show. We'll do probably 4 or 5 days in Nagata, go around doing our buy-in, and then we'll go down south as well. But obviously that'll be all the stock I'm looking for will be ready. I only bought for the National Koi Show. So the first time that'll be on display, going after being put through quarantine, will be at the National, everybody. So yeah, that's always something that we try and do every year. So we're not taking our sloppy seconds or picked over stock. We try and literally bring niche batches of fish into the National to put the effort on for people that are attending, that they've got something to look forward to. So
sweet.
I don't think people realize as well that all the fish that you've got on your website and that's in your facilities are all hand-picked and sourced from you. And I don't think people realize as well that you pay over the odds to get access to the best stuff. Do you mean like when we go to Shinoda, when we were doing that event in Shinoda, and they were like that, you walked in and that, oh, fucking chopsticks. And then you just went like that, oi, mad Mexican, that sushi, come here. Talk to him and just say, we'll come back tomorrow. I'll pay whatever he wants. Just, I want some better stuff out the back. Can you remember? And we come back 2 days later, and then you were like, unzip the zippy vat, and you were like that. Boom. That's it. Get those back.
Honestly, the only way I can describe
thing,
it,
you pick whoever gets the longest one kind of thing gets the first dibs, kind of.
Gaz, as a dealer, you can imagine the frustration, the amount of fish houses that me and Lee shared. Why I was bearing in mind, I was being even my sickness. Lee didn't even scare people off, did it? I was coughing and spluttering and some sort of virus I'm trying to throw around to fuck people off out of fish house. Just not having a bar of it. But it's a way of buying now that unfortunately is happening in Japan. The demand and the way it's going, especially in the early, in the early periods, you're going to have to start drawing chopsticks. An harvest comes in, they'll pull in like a kaze for argument's sake. They pull in 200 pieces. They basically whack it in a massive big blue bowl. Right, how are we going to sort this out? You know, you can't have a pick because you turned up here first. So yeah, they draw chopsticks. So the number from say 1 to 10, I pick out number 6. It goes from 1 to 10. 10 has 2 picks, and it goes back down the scale again, basically. So you go from 1 to 10, 10 to 1. That's how it works. To try and buy 1 box of fish out of there, all I can say is, yeah, use your knowledge and what you've got. And I literally, Lee's seen it.
That's painful.
It's not, it's painful, but you've got to be on it. You've got to be picking your fish, 2 or 3 fish down line, and hoping what they're picking is doing you a favour. Basically, it's a mad system. I mean, you was there with Kaze, Lee, weren't you, when we did that? I mean, people was literally, I mean, they were spitting blood at me, weren't they? Remember the show and Shiro, obviously.
So picture the scene, right? So you've got all the dealers. There was probably about 10 there, when they're easy 10, right? So so you've got 10 vats. So there's 10 dealers. There's the main like vat where all the koi are, and then you've got like 10 bowls all around you. So when Ryan's number 6 selects and his fish goes into his bowl, so each bowl is like attached to a dealer basically, and you see these people, they pick first. Yeah, Ryan goes then picks his, and then they all the people that pick like 1 to 5 all look at Ryan's and go, where was that one? Anyway, goes all the way up the line, comes all the way back down, and Ryan's right, mate. How many times have you been to these places and you've like people? I don't know, just like so many koi just baffle people's eyes, and you literally you walk out with a smile on your face because you've made a box up of maybe, 10, 12 koi, whatever, at a certain size, and you've gone, I had everyone I actually wanted, because people are just overlooking all the best koi, aren't they?
They're looking, I don't notice this, you look at certain countries, if you're dealing with somebody like Thailand, Philippines, somewhere like that, they are selecting finished fish.
Yeah.
And like at Kaze that day, I was looking for A, the varieties that I wanted, and B, go for stuff that I know what will happen in the UK to that point.
In the UK.
It's the only way you can do it. And literally, we went there 3 times, I think it was in total, didn't we? I think. And the shower harvest, that was the one that got me, because what them people were picking, I was frightened if you were an hobbyist seeing the shit they were picking. And that's not blowing smoke up my own arse there at all by any way, shape, or form. But I'm only like, I've said to a lot of people this about selections, and anybody would understand this that's been to Japan, you're only programmed to pick fish that there's no way to explain it to anybody. For me, when I walk to a pond, it's a quick yes or no. I can literally look at it, gone, done. Like, that's it. No, there's no fish in there. Or it's like, right, let's start picking it because I put on the boots. It's a very different.
And that's true. I've seen it. And so, mate, not this February, the February before, we went to Elf Boy, didn't we? To look for some Deutsch shower, I think it was, or Deutsch Gosanki anyway. And I can remember us walking in. Elf Boy, yeah. Well, who was that? That's hopefully he doesn't watch us.
No Elf Boy by name. It's Marihide.
Marihide, that's it, yeah. So anyway, we go to Elf Boys. We walk in, and I can remember you just going straight, and he goes, "Yeah, that's it." And you, mate, it's instant, mate. Ryan is like bang on. He like looks at a pond, and there might be like 200 or 300 toes in there, and he'll go, "Nah, mate, I've not seen a box in there." And then he goes to the Mad Mexican. Nah, I've not seen a box. He goes, and then Elf Boys like that. And then remember, then he went, come back Thursday then, and he took us to a koi house that we didn't even knew exist. Remember?
Yeah.
And even like at sushi had never been there. And then you were like, oh yeah, that's better. Do you know what I mean? And then you just like start picking and all that kind of stuff. But it's just mad. But it's mad how quick Ryan can go. Like, and it's not always no. It's always like, oh yeah, I can make a couple of boxes up there. And sometimes it's like, nah, I'm struggling there, pal. I'm struggling. Isn't it? It's mad. Really quick, you can see that. It's quite impressive.
It's all instinct. That's what.
Do you find them trying to palm off? Do you get them trying to palm off stuff that's not as knowing full well that somebody like you is going to come in and go? Do you find a lot of them trying to look like that kind of thing?
The more they know you now, guys, being honest with you, since this last trip, I mean, what I was getting relayed to me on certain times was, fuck, we know when he's coming in, he's going to start taking out good fish, which sometimes can be unfavoured. You might pay more money for fish. It's as simple as that. They might just say, well, do you know what? If you're in here, you're going to pay double price because I know what you're coming for, which is fine. As long as the fish are worth it and the fish are good, don't matter to me. I literally, but at times when I meet new breeders, so last February, obviously, we met Yamaguchi for the first time. Me and Lee went to. First time I ever got introduced to him. He's a protege of Narita. So going there thinking, don't really know him, seeing a bit online about him, seeing him in auctions, the normal stuff. That's when you know what happens, what sort of person they are, and how quick they can get away with things when you've not met somebody before. As in, I go in there, I meet him. Straight away, Lee, he was such a jolly character. Thought, really nice guy.
Awesome, yeah.
The fish was already prepared. There was already in nets waiting for us to just sort of select. He didn't say anything. It was not like, I'm bigging myself up. These are my good fish. These are my bad fish. All his ponds there, when you walk in, are completely mixed. So his tatigoi, not in a tatigoi pond, they are literally mixed together with absolute pieces of average koi. Basically, that's and it's all because they're trying to throw your eye off, and they're going to see what you're about first. The minute I selected him there, he knew after that. Now, if he was to offer me anything of a substandard that is not the quality that we are looking for, he knows he'd be mugging himself off.
Yeah,
and that's
so you were kind of assessing your level and skill and knowledge and what you know and what you're looking for in fish by throwing you in kind of like the deep end. Once you start picking good stuff, he knows from there on in that he's only offering you good stuff.
It's not also about just offering me the top level stuff. Even this year again, Lee, didn't he? He did it again. It was the same style last year, literally. Apart from there was one bowl that was trapped in corner at Fish House that had a zip cover that he tried to disguise a load of fish from, that I've all of a sudden unzipped and found these absolute weapons sat in there. Which unfortunately, Lee knows the tale that we severed the absolute number one tank away from him that cost me a left kidney and left lung, I think, was it?
What's that?
It cost me a lung and a kidney, I think, didn't it?
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about money. Yeah, but it was. Have you sold that yet, or is it not? Is it still? No.
You know that's in my collection, mate. That.
Yeah. And mate, and I know the deal.
Can I share that with you on camera? If I find it, do you want to have a look?
Yeah. Just stick it through on Messenger.
And, mate,
And
is this one you say is for your own personal collection then?
Well, put it this way.
Unless you get the right offer.
The physical price for it and put it into our own collection, I think.
It is absolutely. If you've seen that Sankey,
right, you send it to me. I'll forward it to Cass. And then you put it on the screen then.
The thing is with this Tozai, I think it was about 21 cm. And like, if you didn't have a scale there or any kind of like way to judge the length of it, it would look like actually quite a well-matured knee size. It's just like the body on it is incredible.
So yeah, basically going back to it, guys. Obviously, I think the thing is, it's all built on, and don't get me wrong. Any person or any dealer that says they've got a close relationship with somebody, I would say he's talking absolute bollocks. So let me just put that out there straight. I think it comes down to a simple thing. It's not how much you spend. It's not how many koi you buy. It goes off just being a calm-natured person, being yourself in that fish house and just picking good quality fish. And they appreciate anything more than somebody selecting one box of good quality fish than trying to throw the weight around in there buying ponds full of fish. Because
or getting your mosquito out.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yamaguchi's seen that attached to a battery pack. That thing. Yeah, jump leads on its left and right. Anyway, we'll go past that. So, but no, so I've just sent you that craft. If you can send it to Gaz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, share the love.
I'm going to look at it first and see if it's worth it.
No.
Just make sure it's not the mosquito.
I'm going to send the right shit over now.
I've seen some versions of that mosquito as well. It's disgusting.
Breaks the ice though, mate. I dare bet.
They find it very humorous, guys. I'm not going to lie. Although no one's probably ever done it before out there, they seem to absolutely love it for his absolute mental state of mind.
Oh my God,
Tell the guys about my Yamaguchi, like my auto feeder. Do you remember my one-shot auto feeder?
We're not even. No, we can't because people watching this would be at no.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Okay,
like-
stop that.
Kraft is eating. There we go. This is the one.
There's quite the first time we actually visited there, I'd seen this fish. I actually had it in the bowl, but there was another sankey that I couldn't take my eye off before this. And bearing in mind, it was not of, it was a very, 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 very high standard of sankey. But this one was, yeah. And to be fair, the second time that we went back, I saw it again and I put it in the bowl again, and I thought it was just destined to be. And seeing it again, only in what, probably a week apart. You know, the feeders went back on in that physical week. That fish had transformed, honestly, guys, in the terms of the body. It was transformed no end. It just grew shoulders in that week. It was honestly in the condition of it. I was just like, wow.
What size? What size is that?
It's about 25 cm.
Hey,
God damn.
what price do you think it is?
Oh, well, looking at it, I mean, you can tell it's a smaller fish, but when you look at the body on the fish, it's got everything of a big fish, hasn't it? Already, shoulders coming up on it, massive head, mouth like a shovel.
So what's your guess?
Not across shoulders.
Mate, in the flesh, that thing is superb. Honestly, I couldn't keep my eyes off it.
Me neither.
It's unbelievable.
How big do you think that is?
Well, it's just, well, I would have said 30, 40 cm.
Okay.
But
What do you reckon, Dan?
with him saying there that it's 25 to 30 cm,
What do you reckon,
it's
Dan?
certainly got the appearance of a bigger fish, hasn't it, already?
What do you think, Daz?
I would have said around about 40 cm.
Okay.
But yeah, you see,
It's truly got the body of like almost a
bigger
Nisai,
fish.
hasn't it? You know.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and show you on camera here rather than sending it all through.
Have you got the parents of it? Have you got the parents, Ryan?
I've got, because he gave me the actual picture of the fish over lunch as well, of this fish when he actually first seen it at 4 cm, Lee? I think it was.
Yeah, about 10 cm, I think it was on his second selection, I think, wasn't it? But I think it might have been from the first one. So over lunch, Yamaguchi was saying that fish stood out from the first and second selection. So Ryan's got, and I've got the video of the first selection, what it looked like, and the second selection. And if you see the male parent to that, it's like bonkers.
Let's see if you say you're gonna share it on your shot. There we go. Let's put
If you can see that somewhere.
Is that the male or the female?
Come back a bit, mate. Come back.
We're going back a bit. What's it doing here?
Just tilt your phone so you've got less light shine
Doing a
on
good
it.
job.
Can you send it to someone to put it on properly?
Oh, that's
Crap.
a nice fish, that.
Crap, I'm sending them to you. So this was actually a Sakai female that he bought. That again, he told me that absolute as a breeder, I think the main expense to anything is obviously the parent fish. This
How big was the fish we was just looking at, right? How like what length?
I think he said it was about 85.
Wow.
No. The one we was just looking at.
The Tozai,
Yeah,
25 cm.
25.
Yeah.
That looks a lot more than a 25 cm fish, doesn't it? And there we got Mike W that says dibs 100%.
Hey, Tafaguchi's got his eyes on that. I just got to clear my slab already that I've got with Ryan.
So we've got. You'll never clear that, mate. When you keep going to Japan, it's impossible. So the first picture that will come up is obviously this is the Sakai. This is the Sakai female, which the fish itself is absolutely insane.
You've got to put the male on as well, Ryan, if you've got it.
Now the males and a very, very interesting fish. Now this is something that I saw in the Tozai that I selected was the body on this, and buying a fish at this price that I selected was
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice, isn't it?
It's another level. You know,
Bloody
typical
hell.
Sakai. Not a lot to dislike about it, and carrying the size and everything is just incredible. Now the video as well of the male. This is actually turning out to be quite a famous fish now. It's actually in Thailand at the minute, and it's just won a major prize at the Thailand Koi Show. Now that's
Do you
a
reckon
male.
it slept with a ladyboy yet?
Look at that.
That's a male Sakai fish.
Male.
It's a male. And
Yeah,
that
you
has got.
wouldn't have thought that, would you?
No.
No.
Look at the size of its chuffing tail.
What
But
size is
that
that, Ryan? Do you know what size it is?
That's about 65.
Yeah.
65.
Not big, but it's got the volume is
Isn't it?
impressive, isn't it?
The body on that fucking thing, mate.
It looks like my heated Siri in a pond.
It's crazy.
Jigs.
Seeing that and then seeing the Tozai Sankey, the comparisons of the body line got me straight away. All I could see was that fish. I could see that male with that Tozai, and that's all I saw. And I was like, holy shit, I was sold on it, because seeing a male like that fish, unsexed, paying that kind of money was ludicrous, to be quite honest.
This fish has won a title, hasn't it, in Thailand?
I just said that. Where are you apart from eating that fucking pizza?
No, these are onion rings now, mate.
Well, if you can't spray them down,
It's smashed pizza. He can't hear for crunching at Chris in his ear holes. That's what it is.
Mate, that's
The
exactly
onion
right.
rings. Missed you.
What is going off?
I tell you what, it fucking comes on for one night.
So if that young fish that you've just picked up turns out to be a male, it's got that potential behind it, man.
Exactly. You look at the two bodies in that and see the mix that he's got going on there, and that was the thing. Seeing that male and seeing the feet and seeing everything. There's a video actually on it. Right, there's one more, guys. There's one about all the actual spawning of everything together, which I find even more interesting.
You've only sent them two so far.
The first one you played.
Oh, the young one.
There you go.
No, there's another one with
It's coming through now.
Have you got the one with the spawning?
Yeah, he's sending the one through now.
Ah,
Yeah.
You can already see. You can already see
This
the
you'll see is
comparison.
everything.
You can already.
Then
So
seeing
son or
those
daughter?
two Sankeys in that spawning, then seeing everything else what's mixed in with this, honestly got me excited, because this is something for me that I look further past. Seeing his parent fish in general, he invests some serious money in parent fish. They are honestly like.
God damn.
But in there, you see that male doesn't actually look that big, which is frightening. That male Sankey, you can see right down at the bottom now at the center of the screen. That doesn't look that big in terms of body compared to everything else in that pond.
That's the dad.
That's the male down there, right? This one here.
Yeah, in the middle.
Bloody hell. That's kind of shadowed by some of those in there, isn't it?
It's the Sankey genetics that's got, I think, it'll be the most exciting documented fish, all being well in autumn, I think, that anybody will see. I think a lot of lobbyists have already seen it who contacted me also about it. You know, they as a Tozai, if that was in a Sakai auction, we wouldn't even be talking about that fish now. It would have gone for serious money. I mean, that's just, look at it. Who would not want a male fish that look like that? I don't give a shit about the whole female-male divide. That fish.
No, I mean, neither. You'd be proud as punch to be.
What I liked on that Tozai, Roy, is the Kiwa quality at such a young age.
It's just everything about it. He had literally the whole package: the body, the head, the skin, the Benny placement, the underlying sumi where it all sits. I think obviously when you see a lot more predominant Shiroji come into that in the autumn, I think, I mean, it's got every potential to do. And like I say, I'm not bothered if it's male or female.
It almost looks Deutsch.
It does. I was thinking that it's that sharp.
Yeah, it is.
The pattern. Yeah.
You can see it's not when it turns, but it almost looks like it's.
Yeah.
Give you a fiver for it.
To share. We were bought, I think in total there now I've got 11 fish, including Lee's Kawaku that's there as Azakari. There's 11 fish I've got at Yamaguchi, and they are serious, honestly serious quality. And it's everything. I've got Kawaku, Sankishora, and Beko, and a Ginrin Kawaku there. They are honestly, it's one of the most exciting farms to date that I've bought for Azakari Tozai. It's insane.
And up and
it's
coming.
an awesome farm, isn't it? Mate,
The
Yamaguchi is
peduncle
like
on that's bigger than my
so
biggest
cool.
koi.
I wonder what you're going to say then, as I was getting ready for that.
Me too.
That's one seriously thick set fish, isn't it? That you'd be super proud of that, as you. Oh god!
But in that spawning though, it looked tiny. That was the worst bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you look at that it looks like a babby in there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you were calling that out, you'd say it's a Nisai, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
That's nice. Oh god, damn.
The main Sakai female is just, honestly, you can't take away from that either, because that is just mind blowing. That fish.
Is that? It is, isn't it? That's the mother there. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The one cruising around here. Yeah, it is. Bloody hell, she's big and she's huge.
Yeah.
Bill,
look at that marathon.
That's nice.
Wow.
It's a very, very exciting when you look at them fish as individuals and break it all down. You can see the kawaku that's on the left now that's swimming up to the top of the screen. That is, from what he
just
said,
depresses me, this.
Oh, great.
It just makes me think, oh, my fish is shit. They're not.
As he's talking about accessing a fish that's, still in a very, very raw stage, and them to, obviously, Lee and Crafty know they shared that moment with me. That was, what eye-watering amount of money to spend on a tozai. But it's something, seeing that fish.
The potential behind it.
Oh, he literally said,
he don't own his house anymore. He's had to remortgage.
Would you consider using it or spawning with it? Would you? Have you ever been?
It depends where it goes. That's not something that a lot of people do ask me that of a certain level of hobby that spend good money on fish. And I've literally only last year, and Lee's seen this fish as well. We bought a Grow&show for a client that was it was at Kanske, funnily enough. It was a Grow&show, but it actually materialized. It was a tozai that he bought at Dainichi in an auction. And that fish, again, why I'm talking, I want to send it because I think it's crucial to see this.
It was beautiful, mate. Kindai Grow&show, mate. Kanske is absolute. I love that dude. He is so cool. Why can't he be a fucking granddad of mine?
Did you get your mozzie out in front of him?
No, Kanske's never seen my mosquito. I think that would go against me in that farm. I'm quite, I know where I can get my mosquito out and where I can electrocute my nutsack, and Kanske isn't one of them.
You've forwarded that back to me, Knob.
No, I've done it twice. Would you be able to blow your cock up on an air pump?
So this fish was
I forgot about that. Where was that?
So, I'm trying to ride over that. It was like blowing a marshmallow up.
Which farm was that? Oh, that was Yamaguchi. Yeah. So Yamaguchi. So one of his ear stones. I put.
Wait a minute, and you did it at Hosakai as well, in front of that lady.
Yeah. So blowing my foreskin up with one of their ear pumps is another key to get access to their top tozai. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to leave too many more tricks of the trade out.
So it was funny enough. I actually had a more.
Jake says that.
It was not far away.
Fucking hell.
But no, it was funnily enough. I had a customer, the client said to me, "Look, I wanted Kindai Grow&show." This was on trip anyway, but we come across this fish. Anyway, this is a sanzai, and in the pond it looked absolutely, didn't it? It looked massive. This thing. It was all head and shoulders. I was like, holy shit. So anyway, straight away inquired, no, it's not for sale. Thought, right, there's a bigger picture to all this. But bear in mind, guys, this in all the years I've been there, I've known this reproduction process happen. Has been minimal. You know what I mean? It's been such a small amount of times I've ever heard it happen. No, it's not for sale. So anyway, Sanzai harvest comes in. We buy the number one Kawaku, which was, again, absolutely outrageous. But anyway, come on. How much is this fish? No, I won't sell it. I want to use it as a parent fish. So thinking, right. So the answer at this point is still no. And the client was actually with us at the time. And I said to him, look, set a pulling to one side, says, look, the only way we're going to be able to get this is if you're going to buy it and we're going to be able to let him still use it is the only way to get this fish. That's physically the only way this is even possible. But there could be a process in the negotiation that the price will be expensive, but you will get something out of it. As in, they will give you a toes eye, a nis eye, whatever comes out of it, what we agree. So spoke with Kansuke. This was a good 10, 15 minutes outside. We're talking and talking and talking. He's like, no, I don't want to sell it. I bought it as a dine each toes. I've raised it. Look at it. It's like an absolute monster. Yeah, we get that. But customers willing to pay. And you can still use it. So he's like, then you could see he was caving. I thought, right, we've got him on ropes here. Yeah, but how long does he want to leave it here for? How long's a piece of string? You know what I mean? If it's going to do well and we get a good enough incentive out of it, it's fine. And literally he quoted the price, which I thought at the time was for a dine. You're talking a female Dainichi fish here as well. A Grow&show that's 60 plus. It's like thick part 65, 67 cm. Absolute monster of a thing for a Ginrin fish as well. And so anyway, he turned around. He said it's going to have to be minimum 3 years for it to stay. Right? Okay, fine. Like literally, client was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So what what can we get out of it? And literally, the agreement was male or female will have the 2 best nisi of every spawning for that 3-year period, which will only be 2 lots of fish, but we will end up with 4 nisi Ginrin showers at that time. So at the end of it, after they've all been left as a Akari as well, effectively he's going to have 4 Sanzai. Well, he'll have 2 Sanzai and 2 Yonzai out of it. He'll end up with, all being well if they survive and they go through the process. That's included in that price what he paid for it. So you can imagine he
and the fish as well.
And the fish as well, with including Azakari for the next 3 years.
Now, before anyone gets too excited, I was there and I've told the client I'm getting first pick of his selections.
He did as well.
So you've got to be in Japan. You've got to be in Japan to have first pick, guys. I've told you.
Well, this was the first time this has ever happened for me. I've had probably the second time I had it was actually a negotiation with Odakan. I mean, we've got quite a good relationship with Odakan now. He knows the sort of level of fish we buy. And I actually secured, funnily enough, it was a Hiroi Deutsch Show male fish at one of the Narita events that happened in November. And when he found out I'd got that fish, he actually called Atsushi, my agent, and said, I want that fish off of Ryan. Is it possible if I can have it to use in my production? Because he's doing Deutsch Show next year, which is exciting, but also a very difficult challenge to even entertain. Starting with something like Deutsch Show, he's going to go through a lot of shit and a bad process, but obviously you've got to start off with the right fish. And sure enough, like with anything like that, it was just a case of, look, take the fish. I'm happy for it to go into production. And we didn't even do that because I didn't want to do it because, for me, it's part of the mutual respect that he sees that, again, the fish I select, he wants to use it. So I just sold him it for the price that I paid for it. And it's now residing at Odakan and doing its thing. So, yeah, it's not an everyday
story, mate. That's the bit that money don't buy is the relationship.
Yeah.
No.
That's building relations, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that pretty much. It's not something you can go out there and ordinarily say, what, can we buy that and use it for production? It's not something, again, that it's not something you can buy. It just happens. It's you basically got to start leaving fish as Azakari and see where the road basically takes you from it. Like for that Yamaguchi Sankey, if that is destined to do well, does a koi show scene, does all the right things, becomes ultimately, first of all, it's got to become a strong Nisai. That's the first hurdle we've got to cross. That's got to hit 55 cm. Anywhere around that figure, it's got to be looking, on point. Yes, if it's a male, it has more chance to go into production process because the female, they'll never use probably one of their own spawnings to bring them through. It's always got to be, like for Yamaguchi, I know his passion is Sakai fish. So it'll always be, the main female will always be a Sakai fish. But if it becomes a good male, that again, like the one that you've seen, there's every chance that could go into production, being that it stays there, does well, ticks all the right boxes, but it's never a given.
Yeah. So impressive fish there, mate. And I've got to say that we have had I have had some stuff sent over which you want to discuss and talk about tonight. God damn it. I won't show you all the little pictures that me and Crafty sent backwards and forwards to us afterwards. Man, there's some stunning fish in that lot. And I'll point when we get to it. I'll point some out and I'll ask any if you can see it. I don't know if you will, but
this shit has been a work in progress now. I don't know how many months, but it's fucking given me a brain hemorrhage somewhere along time. But it's something that ultimately, as a company, for myself and Kev, we are very proud about. I think flying the flag for the UK, doing what we're doing with this at the moment, and bearing in mind probably a good 75% of these are all customers koi as well, by the way. It's something that I put my time and investment into because it's something I wanted to do personally before we started any of this. Because where do I get my kick out of the hobby from it? Is this? That is now where I'm so invested in doing the time and making it, how I want it. Again, building relationships off the back of stuff, accessing the fish. Yes, a lot of them are bought through auctions because that's the way. Again, koi fish unfortunately have to get shared out because it's fair game for everybody. Then they can't favoritism a lot of people, but we've started getting access now to a lot of stuff privately. But yeah, if you want to show them, Gaz, and let them into what's going to be happening at the end of the month.
Filth.
Bearing in mind, this is the first scene for anybody as well, by the way. No one's actually seen this yet. I've not shared this on social media or anything.
Oh, it's an exclusive, Gaz.
Exclusive. Mate, I'm just going flicking back up through to the originals. There's that many pictures that we drew around and going, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at that from last night.
It's an exclusive from Exclusively Koi.
Do not even ask me for an estimated value of this bunch either way, because I'm not even going there.
This is for if anybody that likes fish porn, get ready.
Is this the full shebang, or is this all the broken down ones?
There's 9 to each slide.
Go on then.
There's 3 slides.
I can share that one, Roy, if you want me to forward that over.
I think they need to see that first as a perspective, just to see the whole
Wait one then.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do then. While he does that, I'm going to share you one little picture, right? And I want somebody to tell me which fish it's on and where it is. It's there already. Right, we'll go. I'll bring that one up later on and see if anybody can spot it.
I'm going to start charging a commission for being your bitch, by the way.
Someone's got to do it, mate.
Right, so I get you now.
Mate.
Leave me right-hand man, so I can't ask him to do it.
No, mate.
The left-hand man feels like someone else is doing it.
Oh my God.
Is that the right one?
That's the right one, mate, yeah.
Can everybody see that all right? Or can I see if I can make that?
Yeah. No, that's good.
Shabby. Very shabby, all of those.
Yeah.
That looks even better on here, right?
It does, actually. I'm looking at it now. Every time I look at it, I just think, holy shit. Yeah. It's got some good feeling. Hopefully, we're going to make the UK proud with this little bunch. So this is, obviously, anyone not knowing what we're talking about, obviously, this is all our entry fish for the next up-and-coming All Japan Young Koi show, which is aka the Wakagoi. Yeah. Between myself and some customers, have shed some pounds over this little lot. 40 to be precise. Oh, honestly, I could shed a tear looking at all that lot on one thing like that. I just think, holy fuck, all that's got to come back to England yet.
In one box.
Yeah, in one box, yeah.
Is that Marathon Kawaku from Odakan going in there? No.
It is, Lee. It's there. Look, you'll see it.
Where
just
is it?
Next to the shoe.
Yeah, that's a comment, mate.
Yeah, it is. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. It's about fourth row in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was actually.
In fact, that's really weird because it looks like it's got way more body than that picture. That picture's not very flattering, to be honest.
No, it's not. I mean, that fish was that the first afternoon we got there in October? I think.
Literally, you dropped a bomb straight on that thing. I was like, fucking calm down, pal.
When we arrived at Odakan, just look. There's not a lot in there in the ponds. They've started harvesting just to whet the appetite a little bit. And I said to Lee, I went, "You seen that down there?" thinking, shit, that is a Marathon Kwaku that looks that good. I thought, holy cow. I was like, right, okay.
That is banging.
Oh, I was like, oh, yeah, it's all right. It's a male. Yeah, anyway, we're not going past that conversation. Drag it up, son. No messing about. Literally disclose price, and within 2 or 3 hours, client had already bought it. And that recently just won a gold prize at the All Japan 50 Boo male division.
Boom.
That won a gold prize at the All Japan. So yeah, I was really, to select a fish like that straight out the pond, yeah, I think that sort of broke the ice for me in Odakan quite severely, as in the relationship was already steady, but that really got that going in autumn quite quick because he was so happy to, obviously, for one, sell that fish, and for two, yeah, how it's looking now. So that's now going to compete at 53 Boo at the Wakagoy. But from what I heard the other day was it's actually already grown and put a lot of body on. So he's quite confident that's going to smash everything to bits. In that, that's looking quite nice.
Where's the Goromo from, Ryan?
Yes,
Top row.
Do you want to break these down, guys, into isolated pictures so we can sort? You might see them a bit better again than on that.
I'll bring these down because I don't want to be seen. Well, stuff me and Crafty were drawing around and going, look at that, look at that.
Guys,
It's only because I'm interested because I've seen all of these fish and I've seen Ryan select them all, and I'm just curious what's what.
You've got to put Sharpie's comment on screen, mate. I think we may have just started.
Sure, top middle.
At 9:06.
What's that?
Sharpie's Coy's comment at 9:06.
I might ask the missus if I can have.
Let's get it printed. Let's get it straight on the roll.
That'll look the bollocks at 3 meters long.
It would. It would.
That's a banner for your shop, right?
Right, so that's the first one. That's the first slide out of the
that's the last
9.
one. That's the last one.
Is it?
Where's the Tancho Becco from?
Keep going.
The first. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Son of a bitch.
Can we go slower? Can we just go through them one by one?
let's just start with that one.
Yeah.
We're going to go through them all anyway, I suppose, aren't we?
Tancho Becco, where's that from, Ryan? Is that
Tancho Sankey.
Tancho Sankey? Where's that from?
Matsue.
Oh, right. Okay. I can't remember that one.
That was actually a fish I secured last year for a client that stayed there. It's actually being kept small at the minute. So it's Nisai now. It's about 38 cm. Again,
why are they keeping it small?
Just purely on the condition of it. Literally just to keep it within that size. Again, every fish has a different destiny, is what I say. Depends what it does in the koi show, what they want to do with it, what they see in it long-term, longevity, all the rest of it. Certain fish I've seen now, probably for the last 4 or 5 years on show scene, there's a particularly famous Deutsche Chiba. That's still only 45, 50 cm, but it's smashed every single koi show to absolute bits it's gone to.
In its size class.
Yeah, because it's just been kept in, all about the condition of the fish, not been about growing it. It's because it's that kind of variety is never going to get massively big anyway. So it's like, well, let's keep it like this, raise it, and it's been made to be factored around every single koi show because every koi show is different, and that's sometimes how the koi show scene is,
Viewers, which is your favourite pick out of that? What?
These 9. Sorry.
8. There's one that stands out for me, Ryan. That's
two of them on there.
Jigs has gone Goshki.
No. The Ginring Goshki is phenomenal, but there's 2 fish on there, and I'm not just saying it because they're my own, our personal fish, mine and Kev's. But
middle on the right.
Them 2 Sankeys are, so again, that top one is now competing at 63 male fish. That's actually in a Kawa. It's actually now in the Kawa Sanzai.
All right, Daz.
Yeah. Sounds about anodyne for
that. But yeah, that's in the Kawa Sanzai now. It's going to be competing at 63 booth at this show. Again, that's a male fish. When I seen it, it was all about the skin quality in the body. It just looks absolutely incredible. I mean, that's already placed at the local show as a Nisai at the Kyushu show. That place, and it also took a gold prize last year at the All Japan. It took a gold prize. Unfortunately, this year didn't do the All Japan. The condition wasn't great when it came out of the mud pond. The Benny was kind of a little bit off. I was not disappointed, but I asked the question of what's gone off with it. It obviously grown quite a bit, but they've had it indoors in an heated pond now, and they've absolutely nurtured it, and it's looking pretty good. So that's come back onto good terms. But again, the Sankey below that is actually a new purchase again that goes with my. It goes with the Yamaguchi Sankey. That's actually an N&D Tozai that I won at the Nagata breeder auction a couple of Saturdays ago. And yeah, that was. I think what was that? That was another vital organ somewhere. So I'm not doing very well. But yeah, that's.
You got any left?
Not many guys at minute.
It's got a fucking shed full of pickled ones.
Yeah, they're in fucking glass jars at minute. So, yeah, you've got a mix on there. So the Shiro, the bottom right, that's an NND Nisai. That's 35 cm.
Is that a DK lineage?
It is, yeah.
I like that Shiro.
You got in the middle there is a customer's Nisai that I selected as a Tozai last year. That's an Omasako female Nisai. Absolutely insane. The body on that thing, when you see a side shot of it, it has got an hunchback and Notre Dame behind back at head, and it looks insane. Like the skin quality is superb. You've also got the Matsue Tancho Sankey down at the bottom, which again, this will actually be its last koi show before it gets shipped home to England now. The Ginrin Goshki was one I literally just got at the weekend on Sunday from the Narita event. Hiroi 22 cm Ginrin Goshki for a client. Absolutely insane, that thing. That's going to be...
Hiroi is bonkers, isn't he? Well, them.
Yeah.
I always say, mate, because they got 4 hands, they can do twice as much.
Actually, if anyone's questioning the middle fish there on that left-hand side, that is actually a Koromo Sankey I selected on the last trip from Hosakai.
Is that from his secret house?
Yeah, we went to where his all this good stuff was, and that caught my eye. Really, very, very, very different. Which, needless to say, that didn't hang around. And then you've got a small Chibi Nisai Shiro there for a customer that's absolutely mad on showing fish, believe it or not.
I think that's going to smash it.
That did. I think it was a second at All Japan. That one got entered specifically for All Japan, but I think this show will actually prove better because again, the size class changes a little bit from show to show. So obviously, it'd be competing in a slightly higher class now, where it was undersized before. It's right on size now for this show. So I think that'll have a better future.
Just looking at that, I know the photos don't do fish all the good justice, but for me, that is just a fucking absolute peach of a fish, man. The Shiroji and the Sumi quality, fucking out there.
There's one thing about the categories in Japan. Goshki and Shiro are the hard. Well, apart from Go Sankey, are the hardest ones to compete at. They are. All I can say is honestly, if you compete and if your fish is even good enough to be entered into All Japan, that is one thing. Let's just put that out there. To compete in these categories seriously is, Shiro. Let's just even go through it. Omasako, top dog, NND. Then the other breeders that are coming in behind them. That have got these little gems that they're just producing. It's serious stuff, and people always get underwhelmed when they don't win something, but they've got to understand.
If you're good enough to be able to compete, that's a level in itself.
In the world's biggest stage, I mean,
you say that, Ryan. I mean, we got only one fish from Kibi Goshi Sankey. For him to say, "Can I put this into the show?" means that he selected right. Didn't win anything, but the fact that he went right, let's get that in because it's got a chance.
Yeah,
for me, that's good enough.
And bearing in mind,
we've got to get behind that, even as dealers.
Yeah,
to make sure that you're supporting the breeder. That's how I see it.
I mean, bearing in mind as well, guys, Goshki Sankey is something that's really, really new. And to be fair, in the show category, they actually classify under Goshki. So again, you're talking, to put Goshki there as a category is absolutely solid. And I mean, if you're winning anything in the Goshki category, you are punching. Seriously, you are giving it stacks. So for a Goshki Sankey to even be in the running to even get a place tells you something about the quality of that fishing alone. Because let's face it, they've kind of bred an absolute mongrel. To be fair, they've
Yeah.
you know they're 1 in a million fish if you get a good one. So yeah, it's quite good. But yeah.
So a quick question there from DT there, Crafty. Would you say your Grow&show koi will look similar to that?
Given time, yeah, they probably will if they're an ND fish. I'll answer that for him.
Yeah, well, but it's all down to the keeper as well, isn't it? You know, it's about what you do with your fish. They've definitely got the potential because it's the same bloodline.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Got the potential to do it.
of course. You know, and again, it's how you grow your fish that matters. You know, how you condition your fish. Some fish will get better quicker than others. Some fish will finish quicker than others. You know, but they're definitely there. And the pond that the 50 I got off of NND, there's potential for every single one of them to look good. There's not a runt amongst them, not one. You know, why would he sell the runts? That's what you got.
It's not going to do good for him, is it? It's not going to advertise well.
No, go on. Sorry, the heron.
Go on, mate. Go on, you go.
I'm trying to do as well is get one of the 3 guys at NND to actually do the judging as well. So I'll probably run a separate prize for if they agree to do it.
Oh, mine's going to smash that. I'm going to get that title then. Might as well just send it me now beforehand.
That's not a fix, Gaz, is it?
Gaz, I want to upset you as well.
I'm dropping mine in Lee's Pond. He doesn't know yet, but it's going over there. I'm taking a trip to Wales.
Buy me a bag of sake and I'll sort it out for you. But listen, I'm going to upset you as well because I put dibs on a kawaku yesterday with crab that you pointed out.
No, it's this morning.
That was nice. That was.
No, not the spotty one.
Yeah, the flowery
Hey,
one.
you didn't say you wanted it. I wanted it.
Dibs. Oh shit!
You fucking didn't.
Been beaten by my own fucking rule there, haven't I?
I watched it back just to make sure that you hadn't dibsed it, mate.
I didn't, did I?
No.
Don't worry, Gaz. I'll sort one out in Japan, mate. It's fine.
Oh, mate.
Hey, well, I'll tell you what, though. I'll have that.
Oh,
I'll take that, Lee. You can have my second pickings, mate. Good enough for Lee's Pond, and I spotted it out. I pointed it out. It's nice, isn't it?
It out, mate,
the one with the little spots all the way down it.
Yeah,
about five little Dans. The video wasn't very clear, but like I've definitely reserved it to have a closer look. It looks okay to me.
Remember it. I've not even had a pick out of that pond yet.
You shouldn't be having picks out of any.
Oh, sorry, right.
Like that.
That one deserves.
I don't want fish.
That one deserves a place in the new outdoor pond. To see that as a big beast.
No, mate, a big outdoor pond's not going to be at 24 degrees at Tafaguchi.
I think when you get that, if you got that fish to 50, 60, 70 cm, man, that's going to look something else.
When I get it to 50 cm, I'll offer it back to you, Gaz.
Oh, cheers, mate.
I'm not even seeing the fish.
At the same, at the same price as a bag of sake. Nice one. I'll have that. Thank you very much. You all heard that here first, didn't you, folks? I'll dibs that back off you at a price of a bag of sake. 250 quid. Happy days.
Love it.
It's going to be 15 kilo of pure white sake, though.
That'll only take you back 700 quid.
Yeah.
Heck. Next slide, then. Moving on swiftly.
I just want to say, Gaz, as well. I don't know what you lot are thinking in terms of where price point would be on koi show fish, but I just want to say you'll find on these slides, believe it or not, I reckon a good half of them you'd be competing for less than £1,000 a fish. Just me to add as well. So they're not, just to give people a perspective, the cheapest one in there is £225. The cheapest one.
Yeah.
Most majority would be under £1,000. There is obviously exceptions. There is a lot in there that go from the 1,000 up to, an hefty number.
What are you saying? Competing price, right? Or just the price of the fish?
Just the price of the fish. Obviously, then you've got your show fees, you've got your bits and bobs that add on, but just perspective there. So people don't get frightened by looking at something, think I want to do that. Do not think that everything's 2, 3, 4 grand, because it really isn't the case.
And it's not.
Let me just jump in. 2 years ago, when I started dealing with Ryan, I was like, he was like that, right, Shag, where do you want to be? And I said, well, I don't really know. I said, I want to do some, and we came down to the nitty gritty, and I said, I want to do some competing. And he goes, do you want to do some stuff in Japan? I said, yeah. And he goes, what's your budget? And I give him a budget, and he found me fish in my budget, which one, remember the DK Shiro? Lovely silver in the Wakagoy. Do you know what I mean? That was just over £1,000, but that was my budget. But then I have another fish there that were under £1,000, and they've done okay. So you can give Ryan a budget, and he can actually source fish that will not. You can't guarantee any win, can you? But do you know what I mean? But they're going to be in the running. Do you know what I mean? For you got to. It depends what fish are going to be there on the day, but.
They're going to be competitive, is the word.
They're going to be competitive. So if you've got a budget of like £1,000 and you want to compete in Japan and then eventually get that fish back for the extra cost, obviously, of the shipping and stuff like that, it can be done. And that was the very first award I won, was the silver in the Wakagoy, wasn't it?
And it was a DK Shiro.
Yeah.
You sold too cheaply.
that fish went on. That fish actually stayed as Azakari, and obviously people that have seen that on Lee's video turned into an absolute beast of a fish as well.
A tool, yeah.
Why the fuck you got rid of that?
Because I've got 2 more coming.
Still, that was a banging fish, bruv.
I like to grow them. I don't like to keep them.
Holy shit! Oh, this is a good one.
Awful fish, every single one.
I'll take that. Well, actually, no, there's 2 fish on there, actually. And I'll tell you what, they aren't sold, actually. So if anyone's looking at these, them 2 fish on the left at the bottom didn't sell.
That bottom
that
one.
Goshki.
That Goshki.
I wanted.
So I'm putting into perspective here, guys. That fish is a 37 cm male Nisai from Otsuka. That fish is 850 quid.
I wanted that.
Unfortunately,
you said wanted.
Yeah. I think you went from I want this to I
now
want
I know.
He did just change from I want that to I want this.
I
wanted.
I know who outbidded it now, don't I?
You're looking at him, mate. When it comes to koi show stuff, there's no fear over here. It's just under that. Yeah, that fish, put into perspective, is 850 quid. The fish above it, that Benny Kikiryu, is 600 quid.
And neither of those sold.
Neither of them sold.
But their entrance into the junior All Japan Koi Show, right? And this is what Rye says. It's like there's a lot of waffle go on about the koi show scene, and again, you don't need $1 million to buy a fish to compete. And all right, 600 quid for a fish is it's a decent amount of money.
Yeah,
but that's the price you pay for that sort of quality, But it's not, it's not out of people's price range, and if they don't sell right, maybe we could do a deal on the bottom left.
Easy, son. Jesus Christ, give me a minute. I tell you what, if that wins a gold prize, mate, to you it'll be double.
Wait, don't forget, mate. Like, before I moved to Perfect, I used to buy my fish. In fact, I still buy fish off you now.
Yeah, I'll give you
that. I've got a Kobayashi, a fucking lovely little Tozai from Kobayashi coming from you, mate.
He has.
And I'm a dealer, and I still buy fish that I see. That's true, isn't it?
Because your power as a dealer is clearly not proving very well, because that Goshki's in my collection.
Oh my
God. Yeah, it's got to start somewhere.
You pierced my heart.
No, I'm just saying that as a general, there's fish on there that, trust me, there's 3 on there that are telephone numbers, but that one you've got your mouse on, guys, actually is one of them. That's a Kawakami male Ginrin Goshki. That's awesome.
I like the Marathon down the bottom, mate.
Yeah, I mean that's a Marathon. You can't see it that well on there, but that's actually a Marathon Ginrin Tanki that I bought in this last year. It's
got some body on that, hasn't it? And I'm sorry, I can't get these any bigger. I wish I could. If I try, That's the maximum size I can get them.
The thing is, as if you put the mouse cursor on the picture, people will know that aren't sure about koi varieties when we're discussing, I suppose.
But yeah, that one.
Goshki is good. That's really nice.
Oh,
but that's the telephone number on its price bracket.
Yeah, that to be fair.
Does that include the area code? Makes it 11-digit number.
But the poor client who bought that actually bought the fish above it as well. Wow. He bought that nice as well. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Tate, if you're still on, right, I got a question because I know you've said this. And most of the time, the development starts from the base of the tail on the black. When the black starts, or the sumi starts coming up on them, it comes up from the tail and works its way through to its head. How comes you see a lot of the time the darker color at the tip of the head first, and nothing, and you can see where it's coming in, but the middle's missing? If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
When I listened to Ireland when he was at the Sideuli when we were at that show, and he was saying to you, this one you've put it in a little bit too early, and in the next 12 months or so, that colour is going to start coming in from the base of the tail and working its way through the body up to its head.
But are they ginnering Goshki, those two? Yeah.
Ah, right. Is that the difference?
The top one's plain Goshki. The second one's
plain Goshki.
Yeah, this is Ginrin, but the top one's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the sparkle in the gin that will, maybe the photo will not show it properly. I don't know, but yeah, the top one. Yeah, you are right. The top one. Yeah, you've got like the dark nose and going lighter. Yeah,
it's lighter towards. It seems that case on some, but when you look at the vast majority, it's how Alan explained it. I just wondered as to why. I suppose that could be down to water types or the hardness of water as well.
Maybe. Well, they're in Japan. If they like Ryan knows, when they come over to the UK, they turn straight away. Like I've seen Ryan selecting Goshi from Hiroi mostly, and Otsuka does amazing stuff as well. And there's a few other farms up there that dabble in them, isn't it? But like those are the main two. And like, it's Benny pattern there and body that you select, isn't it? Because you know that the sumi will come through as soon as it comes back to the UK, and they do, don't they? Quick.
The one that I bought in autumn, funnily enough, if we get a chance later, we'll show that fish because I've actually got a before and after shot of that, and the transformation in 6 weeks back in England was insane, honestly,
unbelievable.
That on social media, Ryan.
But I think it's if you look on my own private social media page, you'll see it. It's on there.
Yeah, the floating Benny on them is mint, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean these are the one at the top right. I actually won with a client a Sakura prize 2 years ago at that size at 38 boo, that's why I bought that fish, because that fish will not look like that come the koi show. That was sold obviously on the event, but obviously the conditioning stage that will be in from that point to then in them few weeks will be drastic. Honestly, you'll see that like a different light altogether. And then, unfortunately, my pride and joy down at the bottom middle, the Becco, that was a fish that I bought last year off the back. It won a gold prize at the All Japan, gold prize at the Wakagoi, and then it stayed out in Japan. It is now an absolute scud missile. So I bought that as a Nisai at 48, actually. Yeah, 48 cm, competed at 50 boo. And it stayed at Narita's as Azakari and is now competing this show at 63 boo. So it's actually 62 cm, so it's done 14 cm in a season of growing there. And the thing is absolutely, honestly, it's stacked beyond, the body is absolutely insane. So
it's the best Becco I've seen, that is. You know,
it's nice Becco, that, isn't it?
Fucking outstanding.
To see it now is, I mean, the Fukarin's pop in, the head's ever so clear, the sumi quality is great. I think, it'd be nice to document that one again, probably at some point after the Wakagoi.
Do you know the amazing thing of that? If you look at, obviously you've got like pretty much stands of sumi there, but look at the second and third dan of sumi on they're almost just reproduced. They're a mirror image of each other. That's what really sticks in my head when I look at that.
Yeah.
Can you see them? They're like it's like it catches your eyes, aesthetically pleasing. That's a nice pattern, isn't it?
Even tapers, the pattern tapers with the body, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bonkers, mate. It's literally perfect.
It's how clean that head is.
Yeah.
Mm.
The first Becco I think that I ever set eyes on that actually started my love affair with Becco last year, because there is such an awkward variety. Obviously, they're predominantly Sankey that lost all the Benny, and they're such a weird looking thing. But these from Yoshino, I mean, Lee's been there and he knows I bought a new one as my pet project this year. And I mean,
Yeah.
he does produce a Becco, and honestly, I've not seen him better anywhere else, to be honest. It's incredible. So, I mean,
Not
the other
something you see a lot of over here, though, is it, the Becco?
No, they're normally done by accident, really, aren't they? They're sort of throwbacks. They're not, no one produces them on purpose.
No. The ones I've seen, honestly, are special. I actually missed out on the Nisai last season. Again, me and Lee seen it, but it was a dogfight between us and Narita, and unfortunately, Narita wins every time on that fight.
He's got a big wallet, mate.
Mate, stressful guy. But yeah, and then obviously the one at the go on.
DT's just said there, if you look at the pattern on the Becco, it does look like
He does, yeah.
like a mountain range, doesn't it? And another mountain range, and then another and another. It does, mate.
Let me just send, guys. I'll send Crafty this quick because you need to see that fish now. It's not the best picture, but honestly, this thing, as a Sanzai, you'll just see on the picture of this, the body is, honestly, this is why I started with this fish, and I absolutely love it.
So then, folks, which out of them lot, move that picture on. Want to see the middle top shower. Oh, all right, next one then. Love a nice Becco.
Hang on, guys. Got a picture.
You sending a one through? I should be able to just do it on that one anyway. God damn, what did I do there?
This thing,
yeah.
Is that your grinder profile that just popped up quick?
It was, yeah. Don't tell nobody though, it's a secret.
Chibi Nisai.
So that's it now.
Yeah, that was
62
literally
cm.
before conditioning for the show when they measured her. She's absolutely, you can see the body on it is absolutely insane.
Fucking whip for the head on it, mate.
It's an absolute tool. It's honestly, it's right on size to compete at biggest size each show at 63 boo. It's going to absolutely, yeah, I don't think much is going to give that a bit of a shock because that's going to smash it to bits.
Mate, the tail is so thick. Look, it looks like a fist. Yeah. Unbelievable.
But yeah, so that's another one I'm excited about. So yeah, I think I've got high hopes for that one, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. I would do as well. Yeah. I'm sorry. The first one that I asked, but I mean, I really like that.
It's awesome.
I really like that.
Man. God damn.
But now I know who got it because that was something that I wanted as well.
That is beautiful.
Hey, I'm here all day, son.
That to me is the right type. That's the nice. One of the nicest Gromos I think I've seen ever.
It's got symmetry as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. That is mint.
Where's that from, Ryan? Is that from Sakazumi?
That's
Prada
one he
boy.
took in my back garden.
Oh, is that from Prada Boy?
Boy?
I knew it would be because when we were up there the last time and Kev was eyeing in that one of those ponds, mate, there was like loads of Garomos up like that. And I was like, oh my God. But he wouldn't have, he just, he was not having any kind of money chucked at him to get those fucking Garomos, was he?
And the client that owns that fish actually owns the fish below it as well. That Benny Kikiri, that's absolutely phenomenal. He owns them. He owns them two fish. But again, I'm just going to point out here that Asagi on the left, right? That was a fish. We bought it at an auction. It went into All Japan under our name, but didn't sell. And that fish won a gold prize at 30 boo at the All Japan. Yeah.
Which one? The Asagi?
The Asagi.
That's it, Kevin.
I can't remember how much it was off top. It was either 795 or 895. Again, competing with a fish like that at that price at the All Japan can be done.
Is that Otsuka?
Otsuka, yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, you can compete. Again, the Goshki top right, again, it's a £795 fish. The Garomo in the bottom right hand corner, £400 fish. You know, you can compete, guys, at this really affordable price, which is for, to compete on the highest stage, you can do it,
So, quick one, Ryan. Kevin, I just seen Kevin pop up there. He said that Goromo was one that me and him spotted in Marushan. How did you get that? Was it like,
It was on Narita's auction.
oh, was it? Sneaky little Prada bastard. I bet you got it cheaper on the auction that you did from him, probably.
I didn't know. That was an expensive fish.
Mate, I tell you what, though, I don't really like Goromo, but that is really nice.
It's
That's something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
But me and Kev seen that, like surfing on top of all the rest of the fish. We seen it. It kept coming through. You know, like when toes like just come in waves. That was a thing that you could spot it a mile off constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy. Kevin had a little stalk on. He was like that. And I was like, yeah.
A stalk.
that to me, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of them myself, but that is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, they're not.
But Gaz, you're right, mate. It's because they're quite messy.
Yeah,
you've
that
got
to
be a
me
good one to see it.
is
To
cock
appreciate
on.
it.
Yeah. The two, the solid, the solid. I mean, that's something else, that, isn't it? That's mint.
Yeah,
really
It's
is.
competing right on size as well. It's actually competing at, I think it's 22 cm. It's competing at 23 boo, which it'll absolutely rinse that category dry. I'm pretty confident on that one because it is absolutely stunning. But a lot of these fish on this page are actually fish that all went to All Japan. So the Ginrin shower at the left, the Asagi, the Sankey, the Beniki Kiryu, and the Goshki on the right-hand side, they all placed at the All Japan.
Yeah, Sankey's nice.
That's a Taniguchi fish. I think that's 19 cm. That got a second. Really
My
well.
sister farm. Yeah, they always do good, don't they?
When you look at the pecs on this, that, I mean, that couldn't be. It's like somebody just folded them around and printed them against each other. They're perfect, aren't they?
It's the perfect show koi. That literally for an Asagi, that's exactly what they're looking for out there. Is that in so many words, it's perfection. It's
stunning.
Like, they're all fucking nice, aren't they?
But it does show a different side of the hobby. You can obtain these fish for what I consider reasonable money for showing. You know, bearing in mind in the grand scheme of it, worldwide.
For somebody that was, you know, let's say for example, a hobbyist, that if somebody that wanted to get into showing, they can do it at an affordable price, and even have a fish good enough to be able to compete over there in Japan.
Yeah,
you just got to you got to work with the right people, mate.
Yeah.
It's like anything. Well, for me, the biggest principle I work off is I do not buy koi shellfish, regardless if I'm buying them for stock or be on behalf of a customer. I will not bid on a fish. If a customer says to me, I want that, and it's not good enough, or I see something better, I'll literally just say, no, I'm not doing it, because it's an absolute waste of time and money for anybody. If they want to compete, you've got to be competing with the right fish, whether it's £300 or it's £7,000, don't matter to me. You've got to be competing with the right fish. You know, when you start breaking down the lesser numbers, you know, I've picked up gold prizes, quite honest with you, at Asagi last year, 2 koi shows on bounce, and it was 325 quid, I think I was selling it for. You know, and it just shows.
Which I would imagine when you get that back over to UK will then demand an even better price to it for what it's achieved over there.
I don't do that. That's one thing.
No, mate, I'm going to butt in now. I was down Sid Cup the weekend, and you've got a Hiyitsuri that competed in the All Japan, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's lovely, Kev. And I said, how much is that? And he goes, 595. And I said, didn't it do very good in the shows last year? He goes, I think it had a silver. And I was like, that, and it's still 595. So that's proof.
Yeah. So this, when you were doing this kind of thing, then, and buying and picking these fish for clients, but saying, right, these are going to go into the show, that's your hobby side of it for you, then.
Yeah. So that's Asagi. I entered that koi regardless. Like, it goes under now. It used to go in our own names, so it'd be mine and Kev's personal names, but obviously we became last year. We obviously got invited to be a Shinkokai member last year, which obviously we now joined, which obviously we're going to have the koi entered under exclusively koi. We still entered that fish, and that customer actually approached us about buying that when it won from the All Japan. And obviously we paid the show fees, we paid everything for it. So we made I'm not being funny, we made a big fat loss on it because we paid the show fees ourselves. it got the accolade for me. But I literally, that customer, Kev said to me, he's interested in buying it. How much is it? Or is it going to be now? Is the conversation we have. I said, it's the same price. I think it might have been 895 he paid for it. Something like it was something close. And so anyway, the customer agreed to buy it. It's going to go into Wakago under his name now. Great. But we literally still gave him the award and everything to that fish for buying that. And it didn't go up in price at all. So he's got all the awards from the All Japan, the trophy and everything with that says exclusively Koi's name on it. But we've given the board, we've given the glassware, we've given everything for it.
Oh. So we got all the fucking silverware for this.
Yeah, I mean that's quite something in itself, isn't it? If you wanted to buy yourself a nice treat fish, get yourself a right nice fish, enter it in. If you're lucky enough to take a place with it, you keep the place, you keep the rosette, you keep the actual silverware, and you get the fish as a purchase price as well.
That Goshki on the right hand side, actually, that got a second prize.
This, this one,
the one at the middle,
middle one. That's nice.
Yeah. That's Kondo Tozai. Now that got a second, and we actually advertised that the other week with all the gibbons with it as well. It comes with a rosette and the glassware. Because to us, I'm not being thingy here. Like if the All Japan, we entered 19 koi, we got 14 places out of the 19 fish. For us, if any do get left over, to be honest with you, for us, we win that. We've got that many awards. I've actually got in storage at minute. We couldn't got enough space to put them all up.
So there was a genuine statement then when you were coming back with the luggage. And Lee said it's just cost him an absolute shitload for all the trophies.
Guys,
yeah, it was full to the brim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like what was it? Like 26 kilos you had to pay extra for as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it cost me I think about 100 quid extra in luggage.
Yeah.
And a suitcase.
And a suitcase to bring them in.
You know, I mean, I don't get, honestly, I'm not being thingy. Like Lee gets a chance to bring all goodies back from shops. I can't because I just literally have to have a full suitcase every time. I mean, this spread here, 40, based on averages. Okay, I'm not even going to try and bring all that lot back in one go.
You're going to need a couple of suitcases.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Just get a real big one, a massive one, and I'll just curl up inside with all them trophies and make sure none of them get broke.
I want any hobbyists to try and run across Tokyo Station with my suitcases. Honestly, I wish them all the fucking best.
Some belters there, mate. Right, then I think it's this next one.
Oh, yeah, dynamite.
Oh, God damn that. It's not this one, it's the next one. Look at that, Lee.
I mean, the standout fish for me on that page is the middle Goshki Sanki. That's, I mean, the fish down the left-hand side also, but that middle Goshki Sanki for me is...
This is nice.
Yeah. The top middle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Put a fucking shovel on that Goshki Sanki.
This.
Yeah,
it's got one hell of an head. It's like an alligator gar, isn't it? It's that head's
Literally, the first thing this was in, do you know, funnily enough, guys, you're going to laugh at this, that fish was in the same auction that Crafty bought his from. It was in an Hiroshima auction that Kibby entered.
Next to each other.
What went wrong, Crafty?
What went wrong? What went wrong?
Got the fucking wrong one, lad.
No, this actually...
when they're selling that one.
I mean, this one for me, don't get me wrong, Kibby fish that he enters are mainly Goshki Sanki. That Ginrin shoal actually on the left, top left is also a Kibby fish. But that Goshki Sanki, from the minute I saw it, had got me sold because strip that Sumi away on that, you've got an awesome Goshki. Put that Sumi back on there, and then just look at the physical body, the head for a Goshki, the length of the head, the width of the mouth, the backbone structure in it and everything for a fish that's genetically so messed up is absolutely like second to none. It's honestly, it's just, yeah. And that actually that got a third at the All Japan. So in the Goshki class that competed in, I think was it 50 or 55 boo. It was one of the big categories that was, serious competition. That picked up a third. So to me, that had just absolutely smashed it for me because to even get up there amongst Goshki was, something else.
With an head that size and a mouth that big, that could be swallowing a kilo every time it comes up, isn't it?
It's going to be a big old Sanzai.
Like a sperm whale when that comes to a mouthful of food. Sidewards on. It's got a right head on it. But
And also
that,
the
to
new-
me, that's beautiful as well. That
Yes.
I do like my Deutsch. That is mint.
That is nice. Yeah.
Again, still for sale, that Gaz, if you want it.
Yeah. Yeah. I fancy breeding for the rest of you. No.
Again, the Deutsch fish, though, they're not crazy money. I mean, like them 2 Deutsch showers, 795 quid. They sold, well, that didn't sell for, the other one did.
Do you know how many bruises I'd get for that?
Not enough, this man of
795.
it.
If I came home and said, "Oh, it's only 795 quid," she would lever me around house.
Just tell her it's like a, a version of going to Crufts. It's absolutely acceptable.
Yeah.
And no, the new Goshki Sankey, actually, bottom left, that's this year's toes eye that I recently just won from Hiroshima auction. That's 25 cm. Yeah. Same thing again for that. I think if you saw that as a Nisai, which you will do at some point, no doubt. But yeah, what a prospect that is.
This is nice as well. I think that's mint.
Yeah.
I like that quirky head pattern to me, and then the simplicity across the rest of its body.
Yeah.
You really having that coagulate?
Yes, mate. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Nice that, mate.
But
Nice
but
one,
no offense, mate. Your video put me onto that. Where are they from, Crafty? Where are those Koaku from?
I ain't telling you, mate.
New Forest Koi.
Yeah.
You don't want it now, do you?
Seriously,
Sweet.
because
Awesome.
where are they from?
I ain't telling you, mate. I can't remember.
I think it's on the video, actually, to be fair.
It will be on the video. I'll have a look in a minute.
Oh, right, okay. But no, to be honest, mate, if it wasn't for you pointing it out, I would have seen that, because that's my kind of Ryan will tell
Honestly,
you.
that's one of the fish. When it was swimming around in it, no matter where you looked, you could see it.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Well, Ryan will tell you I'm a magpie for a mad pattern. And
Yeah,
I don't know
that's what-
why, because
so
it's
much
hard
I
to
like
win
that.
competitions with mad patterns, isn't it? To try
That's
to get all those
probably the
dams,
weak-
the Kiwa and the Sashi done. But
Well, that's
I
what
love it.
Crafty said. He said same thing, because he asked Vicky, what's the biggest problem with that fish? And developing each one of those dans and keeping them looking like that is extremely difficult.
But if
I
you
don't think
do,
that's the challenge.
Yeah, if you do, mate, they look exceptional, don't they?
if you do condition it, and those Kiwa and the Sashi all comes together, mate, it's going to win over 2 dan, 3 dan, 4 dan. Have we got a 5 dan?
So just remember, folks, when Lee takes first place as the baby
Spider-Man.
champion,
Boom.
I pick that fish first. I shall get Mr. Tate to write Gaz dibs it first on side at ticket. On your
I
roll,
have-
Tate.
I have
No
not
point, there's no
seen
point
this
playing
fish.
it safe.
I've
There's
not
no
seen
point.
this fish, but I'd love to see Alan Tate look at that. It'll give him fucking nightmares, by the sound of it.
I'll tell you something, mate. The fucking amount of fish I've got stacked up for you, Lee, I'm going to have to start charging you rent for a pond.
But I'll talk
You're
to
going to need
Pete,
your own
mate.
pond.
I'll talk to Pete. I'll start sending him some nudes. He'll be all right.
Send in the mosquito, you might get a discount.
Oh yeah, me and Pete are good mates now.
Oh, crap.
Mate, when you're poking around the background on your PC, I am literally waiting for something really wrong to come on.
There's nothing wrong on my PC, mate.
Oh god.
Now then, earlier on, I went to me and Crafty were looking at these. This was yesterday evening when he sent them through, and I was like, wow. Tell me what you can see on that middle bottom Goshki.
Goshki, that the black on the edge of the belly. That's nice.
What can you see? There's
What can you right? I'm not don't say out, Crafty. What can and Vicky, don't you say out either. What can you see on that middle Goshki? Because I think that is something else, man.
Can I just say as well, just interrupting, the guy who owns that fish also owns the Goshki Sankey we just looked at and owns the other 2 Goshkis that also we looked at the first slide.
He's got more Goshkis than I have.
Well, you know who it is, Lee.
Well, I bet you a tenner that he hasn't spotted what we saw on it. And I bet you haven't either.
Is it the gill flukes?
Oh, and that's some eyesight, that.
I don't know. I couldn't really say we are.
Well, I'll draw around it and see if you can see it.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mickey
What do you
Mouse.
see?
Yeah.
I see an awesome Goshki. I don't see anything else. I'm not
Yeah,
programmed.
red pattern.
Behave.
It's a parrot shape. Look, there's its feet. There's its body.
It's
It's
not a
crifty
parrot.
head and a full beak. It's got like a picture of a bird on its body.
How much had you been drinking when you caught
Oh,
this idea?
I had. Come on, it was my birthday. I had a glass of wine or two.
Yeah,
But you can definitely see a little character on that top of its body there.
It's a nice fish.
That's nice. That it's
It
really
is nice. Yeah, I would never have seen a parrot in it, but it's nice.
Yeah,
That must be weird and wonderful.
Yeah.
a customer shed a tear for that, but that awesome fish. That competed at All Japan again. That I think that was a second or a third in its
It's
category.
beautiful, is that, mate?
Yeah,
That's. I personally think that's the best one out of the whole batch.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I think the only bit where it's going to seriously to be able to compete highly and really get to the top is the lack of Benny on the head for me. That's the only bit to me that it'll lack, and that's the only thing. They don't look at like that in Japan, but for me personally, I think that's why it'll ever stop it from getting to the real.
How sharp the floating Benny is on it all.
Yeah.
It's mint.
Yeah.
I mean, again, on that slide for me, the standout fish is obviously that the Marathon Kawaku. Well, that's just yeah. And
Yeah,
again,
this is the one that you were talking about on the long full strip of them all, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't look half the fish on that picture than it does in real life.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It's not got in real life. That fish has got real volume, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for a male fish as well. I mean, a lot of people sit there in hobby and slag males off. For them to see that fish seriously now as it looks, and we'll get some footage of it. So hopefully after Wakagoy we can probably share the love with that. But yeah,
The only thing I don't like is it's not in my pond. 100%. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Shisui, but that's nice.
That is nice. Yeah.
If you look at that, if you look at the pattern, it's perfect all the way down.
It's super symmetrical.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think the only thing that you can say is just not 100% is a little bit less on that cheek there? Do you reckon that'll fill in as it matures a bit more?
it possibly might do. I mean, I just seen it. I've not been a big fan of Shisui. I'm not a big fan myself, but I saw that. Funnily enough, peaky-eyed at 2 a.m. in the morning on a FaceTime call to Japan, and I seen it in this fat swim past, and I thought, shit, bearing in mind I'm laid in bed at this point, I thought, shit, that looks impressive. Because I was actually more bothered. I bought the Kikisui, actually. That was the fish I was interested in. And I saw that Shisui swim past in the same vat, and I thought, holy shit, like, yeah.
The zip on it's mint, isn't it?
The body and everything for me did it.
Yeah, so that's banging, isn't it?
This is good too. I mean, come on, you can't. Anybody would be proud to have any of them in the ponds, wouldn't they?
That's a beautiful red Achiba, that is.
The Yamatanishki is nice as well.
Yeah.
What did you say? A red Achiba?
Yeah.
Kikisui.
I hate that hunting fucking variety that don't exist.
What's this?
That's the
Is it a key
Ayawakaba.
Ayawakaba?
Ayawakaba, yeah.
Yes.
Keisha Sui.
Again, just something interesting. I seen it. I thought it was in the Gata Breeder auction. I looked at it. I thought I was actually bidding on a bowl of Madeira Goy, funnily enough, that I managed to get. And I just saw it, and I thought, you know what? It looks nice. It was for Grow&show. Again, obtained it for a good price. I think it was
Now
around 300.
This little bit here, you can see. I mean, to me, what I can piss off. The bit I can see there.
Sorry, mate. I'll go. That's fine.
this bit here looks like a real light sky blue color to it, or is that just young Kiwa?
No, it is literally that. That is it. It's it's more of a Keisha Sui style, so you're always going to see that predominant blue color.
That's nice.
From that, yeah.
Never seen one that looks like that before. With the
I've
blue
not actually seen one that good before, to be honest.
good that.
Yeah.
It's clean as a whistle, isn't it? And again, a really, really, really nice zip on it.
It's not for me.
It's not for you.
No,
I'd
I'd reject that fish personally. For me personally,
I reject
I wouldn't
it.
have it. That's the only fish on all these slides I wouldn't have. But that's just me personally.
But I try and vary it up for people as well, because I think, like that ayahuasca, I think
It's important. That's
I think
important.
it's to compete. Even the amount of nishiki at the bottom, that is the cheapest koi show fish that I've probably ever supplied. Like I say, again, if you're into it, you're not. I just saw it and I thought, God, it's got a good strong body.
Yeah.
The metallic luster to the fins and the head draw me to it straight away. The sumi placement was good, and I thought, you know what? Again, for the size of the fish, it's not a massive fish, but I thought, you know what? It's got a good chance, and again, someone can obtain a good koi show fish for threepence, really. That for a koi show fish to compete at Wakago is, you're not going to find much cheaper than that.
Where's that from, Ryan?
Marasaka.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that we've not touched on the show scene is that a lot of people seem to think that you need the biggest fish, and the best fish to win, the biggest and best. This spread it goes from top all the way to bottom. So in the show that you're on about, top size is 63, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So it totally cancels out them 1 meter fish that you tend to find happens more in the UK show scene.
Yeah.
Right. We don't. I think there's only one show which is down in Kent that does the smaller varieties. And a lot of people turn their nose up in the UK at them for some reason. I don't know why, because when you see this sort of spread, it's proof that there's a lot of good show fish at different sizes.
But you've got to cut your teeth somewhere. Now, if you said to Lewis Hamilton, I don't agree with racing go-karts, then you wouldn't have a legend of an F1 driver kicking around now.
It's true. Yeah.
You've got to start somewhere, and that's a really affordable place to start. It's the smaller categories. That's all I done on my first show.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I think I had category 1, 2, 3, and I think I had 1 in category 4.
But
cool.
That's pointless, isn't it? You don't, in order to be somebody that gets into the show scene, right? You can have a vat full of 1, 2, and 3 size fish.
Of course you can. Mate, of
A lot
course.
people look past that because they all think they've got to be big fish.
Big fish, yeah.
And
I've said that many a time at the shows, though, when I've been filming. It's lovely to see some smaller category fish, and you can really do get. There was a Shuru Utsuri that was at the Newark show, and that was only a tiny little fish, maybe 20, 25 cm, but it was mint. It was perfect in every way.
Yeah.
Absolute little stunner.
Yeah,
It must have been sold by exclusively koi.
May very well have been.
Honestly, it's harder to keep fish smaller and raise them properly than it is to.
I don't know. I can do that easy, mate. I can keep fish small.
Yeah.
The key is to keep them small. Is loads of chlorine, no KH, no heat, and zero food.
No overdose of BP, you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
technically, I asked Crash the other week. He said, "What is a chibi nisai?" And he explained what it was, and I said, "Sweet man,
did he pull his penis out?
It's in between Lee's legs, everybody, just to let you know."
That technically means there's chance for all my fish to grow one day.
But actually,
they've all been kept cold.
When I went to when the Great British Koi Show, the second one, the one last year, when that sat, the top end of the scale, the bigger fish, it was lacking in competition, and I actually quite liked the fact that we had lack of the bigger fish. As you walk round, there was more selection, there was more competition, harder choices. And if you get like 50 cm fish and lots of them, it's a fucking hard category to win. Because there's more competition in it. So, for me, all right, the GC, for people to have that sort of size fish in the UK is a skill in itself. But if you want to compete with more people in the hobby, you need to come down to between size 1 and 5 in order. And if you win at any of them sizes, you've done exceptionally well. But I always think it's understated in the UK, where in Japan, it's not. It's all. Don't get me wrong. It's great to have a GC, but it's just as good to take one of the minor majors as well. For me, baby champion, young champion, adult champion. What great titles to win when you've got a lot more competition to go against. And
I'm going to be honest. I think for me, young champions is the killer. I think if you're competing in that level and that size at that time of year in England, such a fucked up time our koi shows as well. I'm going to be honest. Right at peak at growing season in June, July, absolute mess. But
you lose so much, don't you, by taking them out because of the conditions.
If you're taking a young champion to a koi show, seriously, that is in good condition at that time of year, all credit to you. I think honestly, that for me is the category to. Baby champion's easy because there's that many toes about. You can just stick something in and go, boom, there you go. Thanks very much.
This has got me wondering whether my forever bonsai is going to actually have a position. I might have a chance yet. I have a 4-year-old fish that's literally, it's a bonsai, mate. It's never grown. It's this big. But it's mint. It's perfect in all its little pattern, its body, its luster. But the damn thing won't grow for shit.
But the thing is, right, you'll find year on year that fish will get better and better. It may not grow, but its condition will continue. The fish will keep conditioning itself.
Yeah, so, it just looks like I just need a real big bowl.
Quick question for Ryan. Ryan, what in the UK, what would you say is the hardest size categories? I would say the smallest, like 1, 2, 3, and 4, because there's so many fish that could be entered into that. But after that, obviously you've got fish going downhill quality. You've got fish not surviving. So I think the bigger categories are possibly, if you can get the fish to the bigger sizes, there's less competing on that in those categories, aren't there?
I think shifting through gears, I think size 1, do not see enough many good fish in size 1. Honestly, like people don't put the quality to it. They're not interested in competing at size 1. I don't know why, because that in itself, to get good quality small koi, me and Lee's had this discussion loads about. I mean, the conversations me and him have had about different stuff like that. If I was competing, I'm competing at every size level up to size 4, size 5. Like I'd want to do it all from start to finish because in the way I'd keep things as well as an hobbyist, size 1 and size 2 koi are really exciting that time of year because you're in Tozai season. Dealers have got access to a lot of good Tozai. Baby champion's easy to compete at because a lot of people, like I have every year, they come to me 3 weeks prior to the show. Have you got out for baby champion? Yeah, thanks. But what are you doing with that in 3 weeks? No, seriously, like what are you doing in that time scale of 3 weeks on a fish to put it in condition prime for show? And what are you doing introducing a fish in that close to show when your fish should be conditioning for 2 weeks? Not, they've got a starvation period if you're preparing koi properly for, 5 days a week, to prepare them properly. That size 1 and size 2 for me is an absolute dollar. You can buy fish prepared for that. That's easy. Competing at size 3 and 4, you're taking it up a different gear. Like you've got, and bearing in mind, those fish at them sizes have got to look right. I've seen people competing at young champion with racing snakes half at time because they're not there. They're just really not there. No, honestly, because the fish have got to carry body. We're competing in this eye here. We're talking 45, 55, 65, within that range. I see too many people buying that season's Nisai in October. They're getting them January, February. Boom, let's put them into first koi show available. If they're not ready, they're not ready. Let's get that first thing right. If they're not ready, if the body's not right and they're not in that condition, do not take it.
Bulking up, don't they, and get some girth to them.
If it means waiting a season, let them wait a season. Even if they don't produce the size and everything. Too people, they're trying to grow fish too quick or they're trying to take them and think about koi shows. Let it be what it'll be. Like, honestly, you've got to let the process come. And at that time, if you stop that feeding, you've got to take your best fish in that pond at the time. If you're taking 4 or 5, take 4 or 5. Do not take a vatful. What is the point? Because all you're doing is pulling them 4 or 5 good fish right down. You're just making your vat.
That's what people don't understand that bit, right? It's like, actually, by putting substandard fish in, it drops the quality of your vat.
It's absolutely true because Ryan said that to me. So first year and the second year I competed, I was kind of like that. Yeah, well, I've got these many points left. I may as well just put them in. And
Yeah.
Ryan, mate, said, yeah, take that one, and that one. Because, oh, don't take that one, don't take that one. And I went against his will, and I did take those, and they didn't do absolutely nothing. It's true. It's no point taking them. It's no point taking them for if you want to take them for a day out, you could take them for a day out. But if you're serious about winning and you know there's no point taking them, there is no point taking them.
Take them for a day out like the kids.
Well, I gotta walk my whippet every day. The fish love a little bit of a swim around.
Last year as well was so difficult with national, and one of the biggest things that people didn't see at national, or they did see, a lot of people saw, fish were bouncing at national because there was a massive temperature sway over the night from the Friday to Saturday.
Yeah.
We lost 7 degrees overnight. Now, for us as dealers and everything, it was a nightmare. Like, honestly, I went in that 6 o'clock on that Saturday morning. I was like, what the fuck has happened here? Like, you know, and that we go in so early to make them water changes and stuff on our fish because it needs the preparation done properly. But the water was, it dropped dramatically because I let a lot of customers know on the Friday when I get there, the water temperature, but you know, and all that, which is great. They're using a constant trickle in as well. And then temperature drop like that, fish were just boom, you could see them. Bam, up they go, and you've got everything happening. It was crazy.
Your hair.
Wow.
What you been doing?
Beetle juice is coming.
That's from the speed he's been running around at on the pitch. Is that fast now?
Mate.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You know, second oldest there, smash them, bunch of kids.
Up for the last 5 minutes.
Got that happen, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me competing at them sizes is literally. I think sizes 3 and 4. I think going to young champions, especially adult champions, really difficult. I think that's where that comes into a bit of a. But this is where they're more controlled, and don't worry in Japan. It's not about each individual fish has not got to grow 10 centimeters in a season. Yeah, it depends what that fish looks like at that time and what they see destined for that variety. If that's a variety, Deutsche Chiba, you know, Benny Kikakuri or something like that, something that can get build up quite a predominantly fat shape. Yeah, grown too heavy, too fast, can build up a really nasty shape, or what I call like a rugby ball. Yeah, they can just go boom, horrible.
Yeah,
I've seen that Deutsche Chiba. That was a small tozai when they sold it, competing now, probably last 4 or 5 years. That's, like I said, it's only about 50 cm now because they've literally nurtured that. Not trying to grow it, it's naturally grown, but they put it through the progression and it still looks stunning. Honestly, you wouldn't. And to look at it, it looks like a youthful Sanzai, and it's probably about 5 or 6 year old. You know, it just looks that good. But that's to me, that's where there's too much political about fish have got genetics, they need to grow, I need to be competing for this. Let the fish be what it'll be in that time frame.
That's the bit for me, right, as well, is that there's a conceived opinion now amongst the community where you have got to push the fish and push the growth all the time. And it's not the case.
No.
You know,
it's not that people can't grow fish, but look at the biggest thing I've had in Japan is look at the koi show season in Japan. Yeah, yes. January to the end of April. It's out the way of everything.
Yeah, and it's out of the growing season.
Yeah, Nisai can be actually conditioned for the shows. They're not being grown in that time. Well, they are being grown, depends, but really small to get in with the size ranges that they need to do. It's tactically good. Over here, we've got a main show, which is great, and please don't think I'm slagging it. But for me, just looking at this as if I was a hobbyist, being honest, I can't do a lot around that. Because if I'm trying to achieve growth, you've got to compromise and say, well, I can't show. Because if you're looking at physically growing fish, knock the koi shows on the head because you're growing fish through the main season. You know, you're interrupting that for, you know, that could be, you know, potentially, if you're showing at national and the Great British, you've got 2 months of your growing season absolutely ruined.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to make a compromise in what you're doing in the hobby. That's where it's at. Or, again, if you had 2 ponds, you've got fish that show and fish that are a different identity almost that you're doing it in.
You juggle your show fish year on year.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's so difficult. But this is why, for me, in Japan as well, I've got that passion to show koi there, is because justice is served. If a fish don't win an award because it's not good enough. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But something beats it that when I look back at the results on them specific size categories, I go, yeah, I can see it. I can see it straight away. Some majors at recent, and Alan will agree with us if he's listening, we've sat there and questioned and just gone, what has gone off? You know, because they'll get so many, probably out of the 5 or 6 majors that have been absolutely on the button. And then you get to like baby, young champion, adult champion, and you just go, I'm lost. I'm looking around just thinking, what is going off? And that's not because of that. Obviously, they've got judges trying to get the answer to one thing. But this is in Japan. It's not, oh, he owns that fish, I own that fish. Judging in Japan is insane to watch. If you follow them round, and I'll try and get some footage when me and Lee are there, you will just see literally they'll point to a fish, like boom, done. Like it pass, move on. It's so quick how it happens. It's just instinct straight away. They see a fish, bang, first, second, third, done. Move on. Next one. It happens so fast. And because it's all about instinct, and that's what I think we miss sometimes in the judging aspect that hasn't changed for the last how many years. It's all by a textbook. Yeah. You know, Alan knows, and Alan's one of the only judges, and to be fair to him, I'm not blowing smoke up his arse because he is a Geordie after all. But and I still owe him one for years gone by. But anyway, but he's the one that we can stand there by a fish and go, yeah, that should have won. You know, it's because he's got that knowledge instinct where it's just like he sees a fish, bam. The other judges that are kind of pulling him down, he's the only one that why? For what reason is that happening? You know, in Japan, you've got this consistency. You know, you've got this where they've got the right to judge and stuff. And I said to committee last year, I think it'd be good to have like a People's Choice Award because people walking around that show get their say on what they think should win what fish is right. And obviously, you know, I think to me, that would give them perspective as well of the awards are wrong. And I've even had it from show committees before, especially Great British Koi Show. They've gone, what's gone off there? Like Best Non-Go Sankey, the first year they did it, absolute outrage. It was like, what's gone off here? You know, but you always get that split divide and stuff.
Nothing wrong with us Northern lads.
They're in, to be fair, I'm one of them, so I can't really knock myself down.
Fucking, they're a bunch of cunts, a lot of them.
So I wouldn't disagree with you, mate, to be honest.
With that said, then, do you think, and I'm not asking you to slag him off from anybody or do you think there's room for change within the show scene then?
It's very difficult.
There's always room for change, Gaz, in whatever you're doing. You know, for anybody in the show committee, there's always room for change. I just, you know, and there's people that have had social media slaggings and all sorts, you know, about this sort of stuff. And I'm all for helping out. You know, for us as a company, we'll help out wherever we can. You know, if that's putting our 10 pennies worth in ideas, what they can run with. I had quite a big crucial part in the dealer.
Choice on that.
Well, I put that forward, the dealer koi show, which obviously did come off because I remember as a kid with my dad doing that. Honestly, my dad gave me and Rick, I think, 4 or 5 of his best koi to show that year, and that was in 2005. And it was such a good aspect back then. It was massive. It was a huge part of it, you know. And it was like, you know, everyone's involved in that koi show, so why not everyone be involved to show the fish? You know, that's to me something that I see, and I think, yeah, and it was great to see it back. And I think they've got to change the awards. I mean, the introduction of the Shinkokai Award, a great thing, but you're alienating the people. And actually, I've actually said to him this year, I'm standing back from that. Yeah. Not because I'm trying to be an arsehole, not because I'm trying to prove a point. Because we've got a bunch of dealers that, let's face it, I'm easy to get on with anybody, right, in this hobby, but there's too much, oh, well, that's my koi, so that's a good koi, but that's my koi. Shouldn't be done like that. I have to stand back.
How does that work? The Shinkokai one. How does that work? Because I witnessed it last year, but what do they select? I didn't know much about that.
They're selecting what they think is obviously the best fish to them, just on the general show scene. It's not
so just the Shinkokai people. That's
part of it. So if
people won't know. A great amount of people watching this would never have heard of the Shinkokai ever. All right. And what you need to tell them is why being a member of the Shinkokai is important and what it actually is.
So the Shinkokai is basically an organisation a bit like the BKKS would have but in Japan. So it's obviously a membership of dealers, breeders, hobbyists, you know, out in Japan. Obviously either there is two ways to go about the Shinkokai, which again I'm not an advocate of. And this is why I'll be honest now. I got invited. You have to have a Japanese member of the Shinkokai to actually bring you into the Shinkokai.
To be a
So you kind of suggested put forward by somebody,
Well,
a
there's
representative.
two ways of doing it. You can pay for your membership, right? And I said to a few people, I said, do you want to join? No, I want to join when the time's right for me to be invited into it without having to pay that membership. Because when you're invited in, you don't pay for it, right?
You're invited in via merit, then, aren't you?
Again,
Exactly.
and that's the way to do it. That if you're going to get invited into it, then you're being accredited for your ability rather than buying your way into a cult of people.
And I got invited in last year. I think it was after the International Junior Koi Show. So we've done the 3 Koi shows and obviously got invited in, which was great. You know what I mean? Because I've been out there now for this year. It'll be like the 18th year. I've been 18th, 19th year. I've been going out there. So for me, it was like, yeah, the time's right. I've been invited in, and that's what it is. So you're part of that organisation. Now, dealers gone by have either been invited in or paid their way in. But however you want to do it, it's fine. You're still part of that organisation. You're treated equally. At the end of the day, I've got massive respect for anyone that's in part of Shinkokai. It's a big thing that out in Japan, yeah, you respect. It's not just an organisation thing, oh, pick up and play with that. It's across the board. If you're a dealer, hobbyist, whoever you are, I think it's fantastic to actually be part of it. Now, obviously, doing it in the UK is great, but I think you've still got this biased division of that's my fish, so I want to point that out. That's my fish, I want to point that out. Yeah, I don't like that. There's got to be a third party member coming there to do a bit of pushing and shoving. As in, like for me, I would want Alan Tate in part of that to give it a perspective or a breeder or something to give a different angle rather than this biased nature. Let's face it. If you're judging your own fish, you'd be like, yeah, I want my own fish to win. Of course you do. No one's going to lie there. You want your own fish to win.
But if you're a referee and you support a team and your referee, a real referee is not going to allow the other team all of the, fouls and whatever in order to win the game. You should look through that. You should look at what the hobby and what the show is.
They asked me, and I just said, I'm not. Like I say, I'm not anti against it. I think it's a great idea. It adds another reward in a different aspect for the hobby. And I'm all, like I said, I want new awards for the shows. I think they're great. I think to bring something to the table is nice. Rather than just your standard, BC, GC, whatever. It don't matter. I think it's nice to, bring something new to the table. But we kind of get the ideas that are good, but we sort of deliver 70% on the time. It's not. It's got there, but it's quite not to the level it should be at to me. I think, but like I said, I'm always behind putting my opinion in, doing what we can to better the hobby, and that's what we're here for, because without us putting our effort in as dealers, I think the biggest thing is as well, I think it will all, there's not this divide as well. I want to just say this on my part. Is it the show committee, the hierarchy? Is it the people that come? Is it the dealers? It's all of us as a collective. Oh, yeah. Without us all pulling our weight, without you lot attending, without the dealers doing their hard work that they do, and without the show committee also putting the time to doing what they do, it's not a koi show. And we all need to be behind that 100% and support it, because without that, koi shows will be dead.
Totally right. Totally.
And if we're not seeing enough of the same image, I think as well on the dealers and the committee, and there is a massive divide with that. I'm going to be straight about it. The committee's too standoff with the dealers. The dealers don't want to do it because they've got grudges with the dealers. That all need what I see in Japan, grudges and feuds are dropped that day. That everything's put aside because that koi show is the respectful thing that everybody does and everyone does, and that's what it has to happen for us. They have to put their all into it. Put your effort in as a dealer, put your effort into conditioning your fish as an hobbyist. You put the effort in putting on the show to make sure it's well advertised, to make sure the people attend, to make sure that they've got some incentive to come and spend the weekend there, not just a day. I think for me it gets me going, honestly. Like I can feel myself getting fired up now about it because everyone should be behind it 100%. It should be.
Yeah, 100%.
And one thing that I love when I speak to Rye is the passion, and I think that passion come across there, mate, to be honest. And, that to me is important when we look at what we do. I've been both sides of the wire. I'm relatively new in the dealership. I've been longer a hobbyist than what I have a dealer. And I can see from both sides how how much divide there can be when you get into the koi show. You know, it's like if we do not fucking lemon sours. That's what we should.
You know, the glass is empty.
In fact, you've probably got a bottle on the side, haven't you?
I have. I've got two actually, Shag. I've got two. I've got two glasses and two bottles with me.
You know, it's. I think that the more people understand what goes on in the show scene and what dealers do, and also what the actual BKKS do, and also the committees of whatever clubs. If people really see behind the scenes what goes on and how much preparation and how much thought and how much work goes into it, I think the hobbyists would fucking actually fall over.
Yeah.
You know, the preparation I know that I'm doing up for the national, it's another level for me as a dealer in the first year of being able to do it. But I've gone straight in because as a hobbyist, I supported the show scene. I never shown, but I supported the show scene because it was great.
I think they're brilliant to go around. They're absolutely amazing.
You know, and you learn so much. But actually coming into a company that has never gone down that route as a koi dealership was fucking beyond me. But then when you start doing your networking and hearing the stories of what used to go on, it's up to the new generation of dealerships that are coming on to fucking blow all that part of the history away and start to gel everything back together again. And I think that the more that dealerships work together, the more powerful we can make the koi show scene in the UK, to be fair.
Absolutely.
Which that brings us pretty much full circle to the full question, the first question then, doesn't it? Is the show scene important? And yes, it is, 100%.
Really?
It is, but it's completely different in this country to Japan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Japan is run by the breeders. You've got 300 massive koi farms that run the shows. Over it's run by the hobbyists or the committee that BKKS are that run that for the hobbyist.
But you've still got the hobbyists that have to enter their fish in Japan in order to make it a show.
But they don't, do they? It mostly goes through the breeders, doesn't it? So that's different, isn't it? So they've got the entire world looking upon them and people buying fish that stay in Japan to go to the shows via the breeder or whoever it's Narita and whatever that to condition the fish. And whereas over it is whole apart. It's a different world.
Yeah.
But
To what we do. All
But
ours
we
is
have to make it at the end of the day. Obviously, the way that it was done over here was been taken on over Japan. It's separating the fish and whatever. That's been something that's actually transferred that way. They used to mix all the fish. They used to put all the fish together. Oh, these are the best ones. We put them together in the show back for Grand Champ. We see them together. They don't do that anymore because of biosecurity. So that's something that's come from this way, that way. And at the end of the day, you've got to take. I think, like I say, this year having the Dealers Award was brilliant at the National.
Yeah.
You know, and it should be something it's open to everyone. And if you have to split the show into people that are involved in koi to be able to show koi, have a section, and hobbyists have a section and whatever. And it's got to be something because everyone wants to be involved. Everyone wants to see, you know, everyone against each other. YouTubers fish against each other. English breeders fish against each other.
I think
You want to see it all, don't you? At the end of the day, the more interest there is, and it should be, and the biggest word that Ryan just said was respect. The Japanese breeders have got respect. Yeah, over here, yeah, exactly. But over here, the respect has not been something that some of the crap has gone on. I've been doing it 30 years, 30 years in this industry, and it's unreal. And the word respect is not often spoken about people. It's one of them. Yeah, and that is a massive
environment to be in. I'm going to be honest, as a dealer, when you see that, sometimes it's horrendous. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my say, and show committee will tell me I'm probably worse for it. Like, I don't mind telling them spade to spade. And I'll be honest with you, there was a dealer there last year, and I'm not mentioning any names, but you'll all know who I'm talking about. Should not have been on that fucking showground. I do not give a shit what comeback comes from this. Should not be allowed. So,
shouldn't be.
Live by a standard, right? And we're all sharing that show scene as dealers, yeah. we owe each other, the respect, looking after our shit internally within them stands to make sure that everyone's catered for and we do everything to our best for biosecurity for everybody. Yeah. Seeing the standard I see of some of the dealers, there's two within the last 2 years that have been there. You know, again, to me, I'm not saying people aren't allowed. Everyone's allowed a chance in life. But to me, I've just, I blew my top last year because I said, you know, everyone's got the chance to be there. I've seen it coming a mile off, and sure enough,
you should still have that, but there should still be stock. That's the thing that I noticed. So obviously, the show vats, everything's got to be at a certain stock density. You can have X amount of fish per vat. You can have this. You can have this water quality. You got to have this. But the dealers don't seem to be adhered to the same principles in any way, shape, or form.
Some.
Well, I'm not saying the rules you can do. Yeah. You can walk around and you got certain people's fish and water. Everything it's different, isn't it? So,
but there's a few dealers I speak to. We all go to the same shows and we have that same mutual respect for each other. We'll always say you do a good job at what you do, and we tell each other that because we go there, we have good water quality, our fish are in good condition. We have all that stuff, and that's something that me and Alan talk about all the time. And Alan will always come to me every show and go, "You've done it again, lad." You know, he'll go, you know, and he gives you that respect of saying, you know, and that is, to me, it goes a long way because I don't give a shit about going there and selling anything. I want to showcase what I'm about and what I can do, and people will never come to me on a show weekend and see anything amiss. They won't. You know,
it's not a case of taking your fish there to sell your fish to make a profit. It's to take your fish there to advertise you, your business, and what you're about.
Exactly.
Exactly right, mate. And that's the
screams volumes, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's the mindset that differs between what I class as a really good dealer and average dealer.
But you've also got the problem there where there's a smaller dealer, someone that's got going, it's going to cost $4,000 to be there for the weekend, needs to make that pay.
100%.
Needs to make that pay. So at the end of the day, they've got to be selling fish. So yes,
but surely as a business, you could use that as a form of advertising, which is tax deductible, and you could claim it back.
Probably not. You going in a weird place.
Advertisement, and it's always
it's not classed as an advertisement. No.
We have to national. I think they're actually VAT registered, aren't they? National, I think. So that for us is the only thing. But again, for us now, we're at the stage for us to go bigger than people that know and have seen us at shows. We do quite a big spread of fish. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot of work, and I have a good workforce behind me that obviously make it all happen. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into it. But if we go any bigger, it's like you look at it and you just think
you'd have a whole fucking side if you went in.
But it's more cost, you know. It's more man force, it's more stock, it's more vats, it's more fit. Keeps going, it's endless. You know,
but when you look at the profit in it, Ryan, it's people will think that you make a killing when actually, when you do the math, and I've done my research. You know, a lot of people won't even cover the cost of their stand.
We've spoke about this.
The amount of shit that you go through leading up to the show, transporting.
Yeah, there's a lot to take into it, isn't there?
And then reintroducing them back into your water and then getting them back to standard. It's a big stress event for the fish from start through to finish. Yeah. You can't, you know, actually when you put all of the equation together, you don't make anything out of it because it
is a big expense, and it's for very little reward. But it's all about, again, just putting something on for the people and making sure that everything's united together for the hobby. Because I'm not saying I'm a massive advocate of shows, because there are a lot of work, and for a dealer, they're a bit of a pain in the arse, I'm going to be honest with you, because again, you're up sticks and lifting everything, and you've got, like for us, a week. We don't touch a single fish for a week before the show. We do not sell a fish a week before the show, because everything is made sure they're in best of health, they're starved, they've all this. They do not sell for a week after the show because they're rested. So bear in mind, we've got a whole period here. We're talking 3 weeks of no selling whatever we sell at that show and whatever we take to that show. So it's about respect for the fish and putting into it as well.
So to be fair, with all the preparation before and the preparation afterwards, the event, the hire, well, you know, the water that you've got coming in and everything, you'd be lucky if you even break even.
We probably wouldn't.
It's a lot, honestly.
And then you've got the other thing, like what I think, me and Rick have spoke about this before. When I've asked, you know, would you ever consider doing it? There's the manning of your facilities that you've got that you're leaving for the 4, 5 days, 6 days, as well as, and can you cover your business back at home whilst you're away doing it too?
Well, the thing is,
smaller companies wise,
at my shop, the whole department will be closed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's more loss of sales for the period leading up to it, isn't it? So there's a lot more into it than what you actually think. Because you guys just coming down there and putting fish in a vat, and
there's a lot more than that, because you know when you take out serious koi people out of the equation, right? I've got people that want to come to the shop just because they're building a pond, or their pond pump's broken and they want a replacement, but they want to quiz you on what's a good replacement, or they want to upgrade the equipment. All that's gone. So all those potential sales are also lost. You know, there's a good chance that you're going to lose that customer to somebody else at that given time, which you can't really put a price on, but it's part of what you do as a dealership, especially if you're selling dry goods. You know, I'm moving all that expertise from there to there for one weekend to support the koi scene, the koi show scene, where actually I'm doing a disservice to a lot of other people. You know, there's a lot more mechanics involved.
But there's some dealers that go down there, you know, yourself included, right, that go down with a shop. I mean, it is literally everything. It's almost like some of them look like they're that big and they've got that much stuff that they've taken everything from shop and saying, we're taking his shop out. Because there is literally everything there, isn't there? Your pipe fittings, there's dry goods, there's treatments, there's food, there's koi, you name it. The lot is there.
It depends as you as a dealer what you want to do on the day of the trade, you know. And that some dealers use it, you know, in order to move surplus stock on, or they may even like actually order more stock in just to go to the show scene, because there's people out there that actually, you know, wait until, I was one of them when I was building my pond. I waited until a koi show come about because I knew there was going to be deals on. So, you know, I took £3,000 to a koi show, knowing for a fact that I was going to get a better deal.
How can you never spent $3,000 with me, you tight fuck?
He keeps dropping himself in shit tonight.
Hey, seriously, honestly, keep digging with that golden shovel you've got, son. Serious.
Hey, fucking £3,000 from you buys me a toes eye.
But a very good one.
But you know, but in aspect, you've got people that wait for them moments. So it's like
100%, mate. I mean, I know people that have said, I think I'll eat. I'm not gonna pick up that bag of koi food this week. I'll get it when I'm down at show week after. I purposely put off buying a koi ball, and every time I've gone to every one of those shows, I've gone around thinking I'm going to get it all on film first, then I'll go get myself a koi ball. Nah, not the last time I went down. I thought, that's it, sod it. First thing I'm doing is get myself a koi ball, get it in motor car, then I'm going to film everything. But
if you'd done your math properly, you could have picked up a koi bowl the same price as what you would have done, including your entrance fee.
He wouldn't have got to go to the show, though, would he? Get their content.
I'm going to be completely honest. The first time I went to a koi show was in, and I've said this before, but was in COVID. And the reason why I wanted to go, I've never been to one, and I thought, yes, it will be good content, but it was an age category where they'd been turned around and said, this age group can now go back out again. That generation can go back out again. But the 45s to, let's say, 65s, you know, more at risk, you have to stay in. So I thought, well, that's a hell of a lot of people that ain't going to get to see or go down. So I'm going to go down and make a point of filming every single fish in every single vat and every single stall all the way around, so that those that couldn't come might get the chance and the opportunity to still see it. And that's what I did the first time. And I've continued to do that each time I've gone down.
And that's where YouTube plays its part.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah.
Like on a positive scale, that's where YouTube plays its part.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it? You can't, but there's amazing stuff on YouTube.
There's some
good lives going on
as well, though.
Yeah, I'll put odds out.
There was a very good moment this week of a certain individual falling into the pond that was almost captured.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I heard you got a bit wet. You
Not
nearly
me.
got wet, though. You nearly got wet in the last live as well. I mean, you'd stepped in, mate, and it was literally about a centimetre off the top of them waders.
Vince, Dave
that's
took the camera, videoed my dogs, and Vince went in back because he was underwater, literally underwater, and he come back up, and he was just Vince in it, and it literally
Did you
was
do
He-
like that?
if you're watching,
Freezing cold.
He had a fucking bath.
he was shocking. But yeah, it was. I was trying not to laugh because he couldn't breathe. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
It
not
was like
surprised, though. I bet
stand
that
up,
pretty
Vince.
damn cold. Just think how cold it would have been, though, prior to getting the new tunnel over it. That would have took his breath away.
Yeah, it gained
Might
about
have been
6
doing
degrees.
mouth to mouth.
It took his bollocks away, and all the sound of it.
He's magic, Vince. He is magic, mate. But he's a health and safety. He's angle grinded his finger. Stanley knifed his hand. Nearly drowned. Lost 2 microphones. He is the business.
It's an ex-squaddy where Crown and Immunity used to take place. And people that
There you
don't
go.
know what Crown and Immunity is, it meant that health and safety didn't matter.
He's like, I couldn't breathe.
It's-
He was underwater, so he couldn't breathe.
It's only because when you're in the military, it pays to be injured because you get paid exactly the same amount, but you don't do nothing.
That's how we get it from.
But I knew someone, mate. This is the extremities of what that was like. I knew somebody that actually smashed their hand up with a fucking hammer just so they didn't go on exercise for 2 weeks. You know what I
I
mean? That's
regretted that.
Is it all
I
right now?
regret that.
what I mean. It's fucking brilliant.
Paratrooper, mate. I loved exercise. That was like a holiday for me. I
That's
refused.
what?
What you doing? What you doing the weekend, Corporal Hadfield? Just going home, sir. Do you want to go and exercise? Yeah, I'd love it. Are we parachuting in, doing 12 hours low level, tabbing in 12 mile, attacking, digging a trench for 24 hours, and then tabbing back to the DZ? Yeah, I'm in.
That's why they say paras are like that, mate. While he was
Solid.
doing that, I was like, fuck that, I'm down a fucking pub for a pint.
You were down that in your house.
Campaign with you, you never stop.
I was like that with an hammer. I don't want to go.
Literally, this whole live, all you've done is shovel food down your gullet. Honestly, you've had a full pizza bit, look at it, onion rings. Honestly,
He's had a family grab bag of onion rings.
Mate, it's fucking, mate, there ain't nothing wrong. Look,
Funny.
the funny ones.
Oh, right.
Like, all I've had is, look, I've got some burnt garlic bread. I don't buy anymore because I owe Ryan so
It's
much
like
money.
coal.
mate, that's awesome. You can't even see that.
I know.
Same colour as plate.
I've left one piece for the dog to eat.
Even
It
dog
won't
turns
eat
his
that.
nose
The
up at
dog
it.
would turn his nose up at that.
Terence has asked, Ryan, is your place open to the public?
It is indeed.
Oh, there we go.
Well,
Road
they-
trip.
Obviously, we're based down in Sidcup in Kent. Obviously, my glamorous assistant, Kevin. Yeah, his place is open. Just like I say, it's done by appointment only, so give him a call, go down. What is that now?
Oh, chocolate, mate.
Cadbury's, isn't it?
No.
I've only got really little
Chocolate
habits.
chase.
Don't ever listen to Crafty's idea of conditioning a koi because if it's out to go by his own body shape, mate, it's like a fat female.
It's all paid for crafty, isn't it?
It's not like me and Lee, honestly. Man, me and Lee in Japan are like, honestly, what is our thing like in Japan? We're like, honestly,
Chippy
Mint
sauce.
condition, lemon sours,
yeah, mint
lean,
condition.
lean. Curry, the curry house, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Vegetables for our vitamins. Gonna have some
Uh-oh.
vitamins.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, just like zero fat ramen, basically. That's it.
That Wagyu beef is well lean, isn't it? There's not a speck of fat in that.
Oh, mate. And to be honest, mate, I've learned now how to carve champion Wagyu. So yeah, we eat well.
Is it liquid? Does it contain a good percentage of a liquid diet as well?
Yeah, lemon sours.
lemon.
That's it.
Lemon sours.
Lemon sours.
Depends what sort of wet night takes us, doesn't it? If it ends up in a karaoke bar, then yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah, if it ends up in a karaoke bar, we're on high balls, thanks to Takano. But then in meals, all the way through the day, we just keep topped up on leveled lemon sours because of Odacan. So I suppose it's the breeders that actually bring on these little
Because of
infestations of drinking habits.
Literally sat down for lunch one day. Odacan's there. Nice little lunch. Next thing, he turns around and says to Lee, fancy lemon sour? It was like, honestly, it was like asking like a drug addict if he fancied a line. It was like, yeah, of course, mate.
And then I sipped that and I was like, oh, what's that? And he goes, lemon sour. I said, oh, yeah, but what is it? Lemon sour. So then I just realized then that you can buy them at 9% in the 7-Elevens. Never needed Red Bull again.
It's a good job I'm sober fruit day, innit? That's all I'm saying. I think just to keep the eyes peeled quite widely. Jesus.
Mate, no, but can I just say, right, I had an epiphany on the last trip. I was sitting in the back of a car. All the snow was melting, so I was quite depressed. And I thought to myself, hang on, I'm not driving. What am I doing? And I just kept topped up all day long. It was amazing. Brilliant. Like just being like ferried around by Miss Daisy, a mad Mexican, with Ryan there. And I was like, this is great. Ryan's spending all his money. The Mexican's on the sat nav, and I'm just getting pissed looking at fish. Brilliant.
They get better through the day.
Oh, it was just great. Mate. So
Yeah.
I start off with just a breakfast and a 9% lemon sour. The next time we stop, then I get like a 6%. And then at that point, I judge, do I want to top up again on a 9 or should I just stay where I am on a 3%? That's a good thing with the lemon sours over there. They do a 3, a 6, and a 9%. It's Prince, you could just like really keep on a level, you know? Don't want to get too sloshed over there because you can part with your cash a little bit too quick. Like I discovered after I got my tab after week 1. I was like, oh no, keep off the 9% lemon sours.
I think to be fair, but then after lunchtime on lemon sours, you see the mosquito more and more. By the way,
Yeah, I figured you. When the 9% lemon sours out, there's more mosquitoes about.
I think I had about two 9% lemon sours on the way to Yamaguchi. The next thing I realised, I was electrocuting my ball bag. But it was
and he had an auto feeder, by the way. I'm not even going into that story, but yeah, Lee decided to
don't go. Yeah, the one feed auto feeder. Yeah, it's good.
Leave that
Programmable.
But
Programmable.
I don't even want to say it was.
It's a manual auto feeder, so really it's not. Yeah, it's not programmable. Yeah, well, you've got to be programmed to be able to do it, but
no, you haven't.
It was more like
you're going to be in some kind of a program.
Shooting shot, pretty much. That's what it was like.
You got to fucking to do it.
I'm just hoping Yamaguchi doesn't get a bacterial disease.
So how many pellets you fit out there?
Shit, now I'm blaming you, by the way.
Yeah. What's that, Rick?
How many pellets do you fit where you put them?
It was quite a lot.
It depends. Are we talking small, medium, or large?
2 6 mil.
Yeah.
The worst thing was when he put
Until he inflated it and he got 46 in there.
That was the worst thing in Kobayashi when he's like puts the fucking pipe, turns everything off except for one of the fucking air pumps, and sticks a tube down his knob and goes, "Check this out." It's like, fuck's sake, Lee. It's like
stop leaving my secrets out.
Horrible cunt.
It's breaking the ice, isn't it?
Oh, mate.
Yeah, for
More
sure.
than breaking the ice, that.
That's why the snow melted early.
Maybe. Oh my god! Imagine if he gets a bacterial disease as well.
Oh, fucking hell.
They're trace
They're
it back to
definitely going
you,
to trace
wouldn't
it back to me, aren't they? They're mates. Shit. Oh well.
It still depends if you've got any of them mouldy pellets under it still.
I think I had 2 or 3. Yeah, I think I had 2 or 3 balanced pellets by the time I come back, and that was 3 days after.
Pulling a fucking sake out that's 3 times the size that you put it in with hairs on it. Like fucking horrible.
like it was like the the moldy ones. It just sits on top of your pond because it doesn't actually quite go in. Yeah, bless them.
I don't know if that was worse or a eating challenge. I don't know if anyone actually seen the eating challenge, did they? That we did. That was.
No, I saw you getting all the food for the eating challenge. Why didn't you see you actually doing it?
Oh, it was grim. I honestly,
That's some
Martin.
gross stuff.
It
Yeah.
was.
And it was Lee when I offered him an Azakari toes eye for free if he took that jellied squid down. His face
Mate,
was like a picture.
He's
He
failed,
got
didn't he?
all of my trainers,
Think-
by the way.
Thinking about it, thinking about it, if I would have kept that in, and I couldn't have kept that in anyway, because that like raw squid in like sweet sauce was fucking horrible, mate, honestly. But the Azakari fish could have been the Yamaguchi Sanki.
Absolutely not. I'll stop you there at that. Fucking no.
Oh,
way.
right, okay. Well, I don't feel so bad now. I lose sleep over that.
I'd literally rather just like, yeah, I'd rather not give you that now.
But next
Oh,
time we
really?
go over, we'll have to have a fresh eating challenge.
No, absolutely not. No.
I really want you to eat an eyeball from a fish.
Oh,
It needs
my
to be something good next time.
You buy what you buy, and I'll buy what I buy, because I know there's a place with really nasty stuff in it, and it's going to fucking turn you inside
Do we
out.
do that then? Okay, so
I'm fine with
3
that.
ingredients each. I pick 3. You pick 3. You've got to eat my 3, and I've got to eat your 3.
Fine.
Well,
I
there's gotta
win.
Are
be-
you sure?
Prize
I win.
involved.
Hands fucking down, everybody. Hands down.
Right. Okay. That's it.
First thing
I'll
I'll
meet
put in is
you.
a fermented
I'll
egg.
meet you in that viewpoint again with my 3 ingredients.
It's got to be a fermented egg, man.
Now, oh yeah, you don't like those, do you?
I
No,
know.
mine's not going to be a fermented egg. Mine's going to be a fermented chick.
Oh,
Oh.
Like the embryo where it's half grown.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
no.
I've got an even better one. I'm going to find a floating tozai in Sakazumi again. That is the one.
Nice.
Oh, you're
I
in
never
trouble.
signed up for this, have I? I'm fucking.
He
hell.
just did, and unfortunately for you, mate, it was witnessed by 71 people.
Yeah. 3 ingredients each. That's it.
Yeah, anyway, it's good fun. It's good sport, so why not? Do you know what I mean?
Bring it on. Whatever you want. I don't care if
So
it's
when do you-
alive.
When's your next trip out then?
So it's going to be around 21st of April. We fly out for International Junior Koi Show.
Wow.
It'll be.
How long for?
I haven't decided that yet. But
That
it'll be
goes
minimum.
my Evently.
It'll probably be 2 weeks.
That's going to be over my Evently.
You do know now that you have potentially scared off any clients that were going to go with you in case you
I'll
end up
go
with the
crafty.
free challenge.
Crafty, get yourself a screen and I'll
We'll
go
be there.
live.
Yeah.
We'll do.
And
we'll
Ryan
do-
will go live. And we'll get Kobayashi, we'll get Fuku
Odapan.
Omo, and we'll get the other lunatic, Makoto, on there as well.
Yeah.
Because we're the best 5 friends that anyone can ever have.
Hey, that's a big say. If Makoto's there when I'm doing my event, it'd be like, I don't know. It's actually probably falling okay because it'd be around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Japan, wouldn't it?
There we are. We could do the eating challenge live for you.
It'll be later than that. What time you doing it? 5 in the morning?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it'd be early doors, wouldn't it?
Be an early start then.
It'd be late doors for you.
Yeah, 6 in the evening. You'd catch him on a good mood. NND boys are honestly, they're one of the hardest working farms. They will be in that office till 11, 12 o'clock at night in autumn harvest season. They're fucking ruthless. Honestly, they work tirelessly. Every day, 1, 2, 3 harvests, photographed, videoed, into the ponds, turn all the photos out, all the updates done, start again the next day. And that is literally for 6 weeks. They just turn them out. It's awesome.
Fuck that.
What a place.
Which is your favourite spot? I'm not asking you to pick one, but if you had to pick one, which would you say is your favourite farm to visit?
Oh, I was going to say G-spot then. Farm, you mean? Right.
What's the G?
Yeah. It depends what for personality, fish, or everything in general.
Everything in general, the all-round best.
At the minute, for me, I think it's got to be Yamaguchi. I think at the minute, he's my favourite month. I think just seeing what's happening there how he operates. Yeah, I just got a lot of respect for that guy as well. It's a good relationship we've got built in there, and I'm everything in general. I look at everything in general. I've got good relation. Like anything, you get good relationships over time. Obviously, NND was the one where, my dad first took us. Fujo was our agent at the time. We're growing up with Fujo. He's known me since bloody knee height. So that relationship there is always
Mate.
good. Hey?
You ain't grown much, have you? If you knew you since
Absolute wanker. Yeah. Yeah. But no, I think NND is obviously long term, always pretty good. I like that. But yeah, as for the up and coming and what I like there, yeah, Yamaguchi, I think it's great. I think he's a great thing for Obi. Anybody that knows him, especially like Leo C, people have seen out there if they know him. He's got a good personality. He's got a good work ethic. He's got a good knowledge of the industry in terms of what works. It's great.
I think he's the most exciting breeders out in Japan at the minute.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Somebody that can work with you rather than against you, or know what you're about and want to work with you. I think it's a good. It's never a bad thing. So yeah, probably Yamaguchi at the moment. There's a few. I think at the moment, if I was listing, Odakan's a great place. I was at arm's length of that place for quite a while. Yeah, really good. Can't think where else. Yoshino, that's another one. Bit out of way, but that's a great place. Not a mainstream breeder that people have heard of. But yeah, really like that place. Some great fish. Obviously, that was the love affair that started with the Becco that we looked at earlier.
You've done quite well with Osakai this time as well.
Osakai, yeah, is funny enough. I think he's 2 years younger than me, so to have someone on a similar age length in terms of hobby as well is great. Obviously, growing up with Chika and Nagami, he's my age. Growing up with him for obviously a considerable amount of years. Kano, they're all on the same sort of age length, so I get on really quite well with them because I think it's nice to get that sort of age difference. Sometimes, I think it's nice to grow up with people that are, sort of same age and stuff. And that's the shame actually going on to that is obviously not seeing enough younger people in hobby as well at the moment. I think it's quite a look at. I mean, back then for me when I was younger, there was younger people about then that was in the hobby. But yeah, at the moment, I can't say there's a lot of young blood that's really coming back into hobby at the moment. You all seem to be on not pointing you all out, like you looking in front of the screen, but you're all at similar age. Where's the younger people? I think that's for me that comes into it as well. I think my mindset to what I do as a dealer is because of that younger generation, probably wanting to do something a bit different to what my dad's era was. I think that sort of way of thinking and what I want to do, and obviously growing up with breeders that are younger as well, seeing what vision they have that I can bring back to the UK and do it that way. I think always helps. So yeah, it's difficult, but I'd like to see certainly try and promote the hobby more at the minute for me, for younger people to get into.
There's a reason why there's not a lot of younger people and I don't want to make this about politics, but if you look at the age range now of when people move from parents into their own place, they're a lot older now than what they was like back when you was younger, right? It's so now I think there's that natural progression that people moving from like parents' houses into their own house before they then invest into a pond. That age has increased, which is why you see a lot more middle-aged to the older, like more senior person in the hobby now.
The middle-aged person now is a young koi hobbyist. That's it.
Yeah.
It's because of what it is. It's expensive. You need your own house to build your own pond. Unless you're, for instance, like me and my boy now, Wolfie, do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to grow up around it. So he'll end up buying his own fish to go into my pond. But it's not going to be his until he owns a house.
Exactly. Like a lot of houses now are built with like really limited garden space.
Yeah, I mean, I work in building trade and I couldn't put my pond in half of those gardens.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
Out the back door,
and mine's not even big.
But even for me, from my side of it, looking as a business, and this is a conversation I've had with Lee quite a lot at in Japan as well, like, from an employment status side of it, I probably want somebody that can come in with the business that meets, our age group in terms of where we are as a company, because again, I want somebody to grow with the business and put their own effort into that as well. And you try and find that person for me now that's within a 30 to 38, 39 age range that's mad into koi that shares, you know, it's difficult.
A lot of people at your age, O'Reilly, won't have the upbringing that you've had, and the passion that you've got, you know, comes later on in life, actually, for a majority of folk.
Yeah.
You know,
Talking
you have to grow up into the hobby and around fish, like when you've done your little introduction earlier. It's like, you know, it's in your DNA, it's in your genetics.
For Ryan, and it is, isn't it? You've been brought up around it. It's been your life, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Well, to be fair, I'm going to be honest. I think at the age I think the last year at school, so probably 16, 17 range, I actually tried to step away from it for a year. Well, 2 years. I went to college, studied graphic design.
Gap year.
Yeah, I had. Well, no, I actually went to college. I thought I'm going to do something away from this because I thought I want to see in my own mind if I can actually challenge myself to do something else. I was fucked. Honestly, it was just no way. It was like, no, still the same. Every weekend, wanted to cut it short. Still wanted to do this. Still wanted to do that. It's fucking no hope. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm actually employed to do absolutely fuck all bar koi. So yeah.
Right.
What amazes me, weirdly, I just jump in. I reckon we've probably got one of the younger customer bases. We've got a monster customer base, and yeah, it is young.
Yeah,
because we come in, people can come to us and buy fish at a price point.
Yeah,
and come into the hobby. The point, much just first step in it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We have got a huge amount of young people and there's loads of young people that want to get involved, but obviously they haven't got ponds, so they can have tanks, they can have little quarantine setups, they can put fish in parents' ponds and take over their parents' ponds, and there is a lot of younger people that want to do it, but like I say, it's having that.
It's affordability as well nowadays as well. It's a lot for people with hobby, but yeah, it's go on, Gaz, shoot your question.
I was just going to say, talking one question I got for you.
A question.
Oh, agreed. I'm not putting that one up.
You've got to put it up.
We'll do that one after. What's your opinion on the golden corn?
Me? Oh, fucking hell.
I knew this would be a good one.
You need to fucking think about this.
Yeah, he does.
Where's the fucking lemon sour? Quick. As a variety, I'm mad into it myself. The unpredictability and the unknown, I love it. I'm going to be honest with you. What that fish is going to produce, I have not got a fucking clue. It's so unstable to me. You see the ones that, like Max had at Max's Koi Farm, that fucking thing that produced proper sweet corn. It was immense. And I was lucky enough to ever see that fish. It was incredible. But as it becomes,
you also see the ones like the one that was in the All Japan Koi show, right?
Yeah, like them, they're great. I mean, like I say, they grow like absolute stink. Wanker. I thought he was in bed with his fucking cocoa and slippers.
He's like a secret ninja, mate. He just slips in it and doesn't
it? Mate. That's what he's on normally.
He's just about to go to bed to watch. What are you watching? Ben?
Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah, or Rising Damp.
Listen, it could be another question to Alan Tate is what does he think about Yamabuki? That'll fucking stall him. Don't worry,
mate,
that puts some of his tracks. But no, golden corn, I think it's a great variety, but I think I'm seeing too much again now, this variant of it. You've got super red corn, you've got this, you've got that, you've got fucking white corn, you've got all this stuff. So yeah,
that's the thing I don't get about it, mate. When you say it's a variety, it should be uniform like all the rest of them are, surely.
They're not.
To me, a golden corn is predominantly yellow. I like the Kanoko variety as well, that's more white with a sort of white, the yellow sort of crazy Kanoko pattern on it. As for red corn, fucking green corn, white corn, go and put them in because I'm not interested. You know what I mean? They're not golden corn to me. And I think they've become too much now. You don't see many of the good ones kicking about, or you can certainly access. And I think you're seeing too much shit being farmed out as a mad production just to make money off, which like anything, I will only entertain the idea of buying and selling something like that if the variety is right, and you'll only ever see me advertise ones that I think are ultimately good enough.
Bob on as to what the first one that was in the magazine, that that stunning one, that looked absolutely beautiful.
It's one in a million fish there. It's like anything.
One in a million. That alters the profile of that variety, but the fish that followed that, there was a lot of expectancy that it would turn into that, when in reality,
it couldn't be any further away from it. But that is the beauty of that variety, that they are not one alike.
It is it's the unknown for me. I think like you can almost put it down to a variant of like a Matt Scalbacchi. It's just you could buy a completely white fish. You could buy a white fish as a Nisai, and you turn to it as a Sanzai, and it's like, where the fuck did all that come from?
Yeah,
honestly, like it's just such a mad variety. I'm not gonna lie, I do like it, and even in auctions of late, there was going for some mad money. I mean, moving mad money. Like you've got to be on drugs to be buying anything like that, But again, it's what people into, aren't they? At the end of the day, if you're either into Gosanki, into Goshki, you're into what you're into. I've got clients that literally want anything as oddball and as obscure as they can get it. But that's
different, yeah.
Golden Corn. To be fair, Taniguchi's a mad fucker anyway for even thinking of the idea of trying to breed something like that. So,
but he's made
something different, hasn't he?
What's an Aragoki? Let's face it, it's a fucking ghost carp on
speed. That was going to be my next question. You've literally just, the Aragoki seems to be hitting off big again, doesn't it? Mate, when really it's something that were turned out.
I love Aragoki.
Yeah, I do, mate, and all. Just the originality of them. They look so much different. I think they're sweet.
Yeah, but that's the general taste, and that goes back to, irrespective of what anyone thinks of whatever variety, everyone has got their own taste. Like Brian says, he's got customers that love any oddball. All right, I've got people that come into the shop looking for the fish that's different. Golden Corn in my shop, people have come in just because I've got Golden Corn, not just walk past absolutely fucking everything straight to the Golden Corn, because one, they're hard to get hold of, and number two, to get a good specimen is difficult as well. I'm not saying everyone bought one, because they didn't, but they come, and it's like not knowing where they go is the bit that they like, because they want to see what they can get from a fish. And you never know, you might get that one jewel.
It's like spotting that odd, different kahaku, isn't it? Just that one that stands out from the rest.
Like that spotty one that you notice.
Rinse that straight back up in there, no drama.
Boy.
Yeah, naughty.
Well, all right. Yeah, that's a good question. What do you think to the Tamasaba? You think it's going to be one in everybody's pond this time, 2 years' time? From now, 2 years' time. You think Mr. Hadfield will eventually have one massive big rugby ball swimming around with his great big window? There's some Tabasaba giving it that as it goes past.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Like anything, you're either into what you're into again.
I think I'm in me.
I remember Alan actually said something once. It was actually
worthwhile listening to.
No, it was, and it's stuck in my head ever since. It was the thing. It's about koi appreciation, not assassination, and that was the biggest thing for me. Like for me, I'm not biased to any variety. I look at the pros and cons of that variety and what suits everything else. Because at the end of the day, I'm selling fish, not because I want to sell I want to sell everything. I'm not just I'm just a Go Sankey man. I just like Shearers or everything across the board. Because unfortunately, the way the industry goes now is the more weird and wonderful. And if you buy anything that's anything, literally, I bought a Sorogoi Utsori. Mariero called it a Sorogoi Utsori in autumn. It was the maddest thing you've ever seen. It was a full Sorogoi with this amazing sumi pattern all over it. Yeah, he just made it up as it went along, just on back. You know what I mean? It's a fucked up Sorogoi, innit? You know what I mean? It's got but it had a good sumi pattern. And he's like, oh, yeah, that. I just whipped a few of them out like no dramas. You know what I mean? Walks off and you think, but it sold straight away because of that.
Because it's different.
But again, no, I didn't look at it and go, oh, I looked at it and thought, oh, actually, that's different. Like, it's got to still carry the same attributes of buying any fish. But it just, it fitted. And it's, nothing sort of goes now. You know, at Sakai, they're pushing these white Karashigoi. You know, they can literally, at the big farms, they can dump a shit on floor, put it on an auction and tell somebody that's the best thing you've ever seen since sliced bread, and it will command millions again. You know, that's just how it goes. But, you know, I think, and I look at everything, you know, actually Lee saw me buy an Aragoki, most one of the expensive ones I think I've ever bought as an Nisai, on last trip. And the thing just, it was amazing. It was on, it just ticked all boxes for me. I thought that just absolutely stands out. And if I was buying
Kobayashi one,
yeah, I would have bought that for myself, being honest. If that was
it was an amazing example, wasn't it, to be honest?
Yeah, and it's like that. I see anything of that sort of, you know, that way out. I mean, Go Sanki's always got a bit of staple, you know, varieties to our hobby. Always will be. But does it get me excited at minute? No, because it's just a date. It's just a go when you do your typical head's good, body's good, skin's good. You know, you do all your necessary things. And does it excite me? No. I literally, the last time I got excited about a bit of Go Sanki, I don't know. I lost that 5 or 6 years ago.
Was that Yamaguchi?
Oh no! Apart from that Sankey, I'll let you off with that. Yeah, that got me pulse racing a bit. Well, I think it did. Not only that, and financially and all. I fucking know.
Like that.
Yeah. But no, I think certainly if I was going for an oddball variety at minute, if you want to call it, where would I be with that? Jesus, I don't know. Probably Aragoki would be my one at minute. I think.
Yeah.
I think it'd have to be. They're such a cool variety, and as well, they grow big. They're fun to look at and watch. You know, I think. But again, they've built an absolute mongrel, really. I mean, most of them that I've seen at Kobayashi look like fucking ghost koi, which, you know, But the ones I selected, to be fair, were pretty good, and I liked them because they've all got something different. You know, like anything. But yeah, I think Arago, Golden Corn got the early stages were great. You know, and like people, you have the conversations. You know what they think they're going to do. I've not got a fucking clue. I'll be honest with you. Like, you know, I still can't predict the future for Golden Corn now. It just I've never seen such a mad variety in my life. But yeah, I think it got into a bit more of a sales gimmick now. Yeah, it has as a variety. It has 100%.
They all have though. Surely it's gone mental with every name in a different Karashigoi, Benigoi, Tiger, this, Yellow Monkey, that. Some of them maybe run it, and a lot of them don't.
Yeah,
and it's just Black Zeus.
For me, the one variety that stands out as owning a title that is a selling technique is the Yellow Monkey. The bodies on them fish are fucking next level.
But it's just
it's still a
just a Ginrin Karashigoi, isn't it?
They're going to grow big because of Karashis.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they are stunning. They are beautiful, but
absolutely next level.
Is there giving it a new name just literally to push and promote the sale of them?
No, really not. Really not. Honest to God, you know, Lee owns one, right? And he will tell you.
Stunning fish, mate. Really, that is mint.
The volume that they carry. The fucking the volume they carry when you put them next to another Ginrin Karashi, you can pick out which one is a Yellow Monkey. Well, I certainly can. You know, and when they get bigger and bigger and bigger, they as long as you raise them right, they hold that mass, and they're different levels. They are a different level of Karashi, in my opinion.
I think, to be fair, if you look at it on a bigger perspective, yes, it is a Ginrin Karashigoi, but when you actually start breaking that down, the genetics of them things are absolutely fucking frightening. Like, I've not seen one round Dainichi Koi farm that's not got an head like a shovel and a backbone built like it's on a different.
It's the backbone for me, Roy. You fucking mate. It is. You can just see what they're going to grow into.
Ginrin Karashigoi, you go to Marasay, he's got ponds full of them, pale, horrible looking things, look like racing snakes. You know what I mean? Go and buy one of them, no dramas. You want a proper Ginrin Karashigoi that you've got an healthy budget for. You look at a Yellow Monkey, or, you know, especially like Karashigoi, like at a cower. They're reaching sizes 70M Sanzai. I mean, Nisai are really far behind.
Wasn't the breeder that about 10, 15 years ago that were producing Karashigoi that got to 110 cm?
Still is.
Kanisha, but that's where ours originated from, and it's the same. They all come from there. Yeah. So what you're saying is basically the Yellow Monkey are a better example. So if you're buying from Dainichi, you're getting a better build. But it's the same thing, but you're paying more money for the better fish.
Ryan,
it's not a different variety, is it? It's the same variety.
When did I get that yellow monkey? You sent it to me in
July.
June, didn't you? Last year,
Oh,
June.
no, I don't really want to talk about it. To be honest with
It was June. It came to my pond in June at 30 cm. I measured it a few days ago, and it's
67.
66 or 67 cm now.
It was way bigger than board, mate, wasn't it? It won't fit on it, would it?
Did I not tell you there
Wow.
was a buyback clause in that sale? There's a buyback clause. I got it for the same price. but
I
can
don't
put
know.
it
Well,
back.
if you've got to buy it back, mate, it's a Ginnerin Chag, isn't it? How did I get a yellow monkey? Because I'm sure I paid for a Ginnerin Chag. Because you went, oh, they're massive money, those yellow monkeys, Shag. You may as well just get a Ginnerin Chag. And I was like, oh, all right then. And then 3 months later, yellow monkey turned up in a box.
So if there's
Must be
anybody out there that ended up with a Ginnerin Chag, please make a monkey.
And no, by the way, anyone that's listening, there's fucking no more. That is it. No. The answer is no. Categorical no.
I've got some.
Joe, funnily enough, speaking about that, I've actually got some golden corns in quarantine at minute, and they are quite a fun variety. I'm not going to lie. The red ones I can't cope with because they're like Ginrin Akamatsuba. I can't cope with them. But yeah, I do like my odd varieties as well. I like to have a bit of a play with some stuff. You know what I mean? See what they can produce. See how they grow. You know, like I say, I think the Aragoki though for me at the minute, just the gnarly bodies on them that they seem to produce. I mean, this Nisai, it's got more height than length. This thing, its backbone is just an absolute joke. It's just I love it. You know, and I just think that for that it's an exciting, especially when you go to Aoki. I mean, if anyone's ever been to Aoki or seen the videos on Lee's channel of Aoki, wow, that place would change your mind completely about anything other than Go Sankey because it's just such a cool place.
I shared a video a couple of weeks ago at Aoki.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of his ponds. Look at that. Fucking awesome.
That's pretty nice, isn't it? For an Aragoki.
Yeah.
It was fucking banging.
Yeah, no, I like them.
impressive.
They're nice. Cool, pretty cool variety. And even Tamasaba, you know, they're becoming. I mean, what we've got now, we've got the yellow bananas or something, whatever the shit they're calling them now. Yellow Tamasaba. What was it? Yellow banana or
Achieva
something?
strains as well.
Dainichi is selling Tamasaba from fucking Golden Orb or something. It's like the major golf ball or something.
I want a yellow monkey Tamasaba.
What do you think to this variety?
Little monkey.
Little monkey.
Not me, it's Ryan.
Oh, fucking hell, Shag. Unbelievable.
Mate, you look like him. 100%.
Unbelievable skin
That's the
condition.
one I said I'm not putting that up. But... So, do you have an actual favourite variety then?
Yeah.
No.
I'll answer that.
No?
But your personal favourite is Becco.
Oh, yeah, at the minute, yeah. To be fair, yeah. Becco's a bit of an in thing at the moment for me.
Lee? Your favourite variety?
I'm just.
You got a lot of red
really-
and white in your pond, mate.
I'm boring, mate. I do like Sankey, do you know what I mean? But that's an obvious
boring,
one for a lot of people.
Daz, favourite variety?
Thankies, but I do like
Thank you.
Kiko's as well.
Nice.
Rick? Favourite variety?
Today, Kahaku.
Today, Kaku. Spotty one.
It's a great hobby because I can have a different one every day. So.
Crafty?
Achiever and Sankey, why not?
Achiever and a Sankey.
Achiever.
I never thought you'd have. I didn't think. See, Achiever.
Yeah, I do like
Sankey.
Well, you said Aragoki, Shag. You let me down. I thought he's definitely going to be in for an Aragoki. And he goes, we're Achiever. How neutral.
My favourite, mate. My favourite is Sankey, and both of them are cheaper. They've both got a place. I really do enjoy Aragoki, but they're not my favourite. If I had to choose between an Aragoki and a Sankey would take it every day.
Yeah.
Thinking
What
of to
about you
pick her,
guys?
I think it's from being Yamabuki, mate. Just from being a little kid, my dad taking me to first place and seeing that great big yellow fish swimming across top of pond, man.
Fucking hell, Gaz. Alan Tate's going to be loving you. He's going to suck you off tonight. Fucking Alan Tate loves a Yamabuki.
I do, mate. I don't know why. Since my dad took me to first place when I was a little lad, they had a massive one in there, and it were, like 90 odd, 95 cm. It was huge, but it was never for sale. It was the shop's particular own piece, and it was mint. It was beautiful. And every week I used to run up there to top of steps and run around to Big Pond, just have a look at that. Just give me a bit of food and wang it in and watch it come over, man. Yeah, I've always liked him ever since.
He literally, you and Alan Tate will be like that now. After that, he loves Yamabuki. That's the best thing he likes judging. No, honestly, ask him. Where is he? Is he still awake? Is the old fucker still alive? Is he still good? Is he still breathing?
I don't think they've turned the lights off in the old people's home yet. He should be.
Nah, phone him. I want to get him up blower.
He's probably fallen asleep into his Horlicks.
Nah, he won't be. Oh, is he turned you down, Shag?
No, it is.
You cut him off.
He's having trouble turning it on.
Is it just unbelievable?
Does it? Hello, or is Mrs. an answer? He's an horrible cunt. He knows I'm ringing. He's watching. I'm going to fucking keep it on now.
Simon says Alan's tucked up. Just keep belling him all night so he won't get any sleep.
Unbelievable, yeah. Very cocoa and slippers, that lad.
It's Horlicks, mate.
Oh, Horlicks, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, put the phone down. Put the phone down. He might be giving his missus a PP bath.
Alan, I apologise, mate.
She'll fucking beat you, mate. I tell you.
I know. I'm very joking. But that's what you do when you care for someone.
Like that. Alan, we're going shopping.
There you go.
Hey,
I told you, mate. He's spawning. He's got the brushes out in the bedroom.
Answer the phone, you miserable twat.
He's out of order, isn't he? Fucking cunt.
We've got one or two questions, but we're pushing up to 4 hours, gents. I think we'll save those questions for next week.
Oh, man.
Thank you very much for a wonderful evening, gents. It's been a good laugh, as well as interesting and informative.
Yeah.
I can't believe I've been off. Come on, played an hour and a half football. Come back, and you're still here.
Still here.
Watch an hour and a half of football, Rick.
Mate.
And you was running around. Fucking went like that with your hair and then come back on.
He literally just ran down the street and back up, didn't he? Get a bit of a sweat on.
Fucking hair dryer,
Coronation Street.
Hair dryer.
And catch up.
I should have done live, shouldn't I? I should have gone out there with a camera.
Yeah, you should. You should have had ball cam.
Quite a crowd.
Sorry, that's Lee's show, isn't it? That. Right then, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you very much, Ryan, for coming on and giving us a talk through everything. Been greatly appreciated. Crafty, as usual, mate, thank you very much. Lee, you're a star. Rick, thank you for coming and leaving and returning. We'll catch us on the next one. Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favor. Give us a like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Till next time, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, all. Good night.
Cricket that.